and welcome to another fabulous Tuesday. Of course, the circus is in town. We are officially experiencing Everfest for the first time, and I'm pretty excited because there's a whole new Bravo for me to explore.
Yeah, you basically every set gives you everything you want. What's going on, everybody? How are you?
How do we look? First supplemental set, I got a Fabled specialization for one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
The second one, they went ahead and gave one of my favorite classes a Fabled.
They gave you every one of your classes a Fabled.
Yeah, and then
they gave you the Fabled too again. My gosh.
And then got the full art double-sided hero cold foil for the first time.
You got 8 Ruin Blades. Yeah. Now you have a second version of a Guardian that you already had. And I've got Battering Bolt.
I heard they're changing the name of the game to Flesh and Blade.
You mean Brute or Guardian and Runeblade?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, cheers to Clark. Said a recent podcast was excellent. Let's pour one out. Hold on, I'll get the old Arena Rex Matt. Well, check this out.
We're gonna send her away with some champagne.
I figure we could roll it up and put it in a boat and shoot a flaming arrow at it.
I like that. That's very Ranger of you.
This has served us well for many years, and now it will go back to serving only the game, Arena Rex.
That was literally almost 2 years ago when the pandemic started. We started streaming 5 days a week, and that was on our table most of that time.
Let's look at the difference. Look at this top now.
So this is white.
This is one that came out of our visual manual here that Jonathan put together. I think it looks great. We got some lines that are necessary for us to kind of straighten the camera as best we can, and it should provide a better backdrop. This is kind of obviously look, it's kind of muddy, right? So it should make the cards look better on the back there. Anyway,
I like it.
Cheers to everybody. If you're just tuning in, that's a thing you probably didn't even know about.
Galdrick saying, "Ooh, man, or Galdiker, I can't say your name. Sorry." Says, "Oh man, that new mat is gorgeous."
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We're glad to get some of the custom on the table. Long time coming. All right, so here's what's going to happen today. Zach, you've already built a deck.
You take me on a tour of what's happening.
You've already built a deck, and then
I couldn't wait.
Yesterday, Zach and I stayed late in the office, and we did, what must be done. Play tested a new game that we're looking at.
We've been doing that a lot lately.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah, and I will say,
place to be.
I tweeted about this over the break, but the number of people reaching out to us with new games that are going to be coming out, I think we talked about it on the podcast a while back, predictions as the pandemic was going on, what would happen after. But I think a lot of people had time to work on projects. I think the TCG boom also, and the gaming just kind of going crazy. We're going to see a lot of games this year.
Yeah.
Just coming out in general.
Yeah.
We aren't going to be able to cover anywhere near all of them, but it is really a cool time.
Well, we're going to sift, and we're also going to sift through them for you. So don't worry about that. We've got it covered. Because there's some sifters. You need a lot of sifting in today's market. Here's what's going to happen. So Zach has already done the hard work. Of course, it's easy work because it's a Bravo deck, right? So you put in the cards. Let me tell you something. Basically, you take your Guardian pool, find 60 cards you like, just throw them in there, and you're winning 50% of your matches already. So then you can start tweaking.
As long as they're all blue and blocked for 3, you're fine.
So you get like a weapon, and then you just swing it every turn.
One thing I will say, I will talk about it after we get through your stuff. This Bravo,
hours later.
This Bravo is weird. It's weird to build.
Yeah, that's good. Is that new for you? Probably, things not being that overt.
He's got all 3 of the elemental types that we've seen so far, right? And there's a huge balance between where you start. You take the old Bravo deck, right? It's classic.
Yeah.
But
it may not be the right place to start.
Well, let's just say you start there.
Okay.
You swap in the new Bravo, and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Yeah. First thing you do is put Crown of Seeds in. The second thing you do is switch to the Ice Hammer. The third thing you do is you play Rampart. Okay.
But if you do that in that order, you lose out on Stalagmite being a good option.
That's right.
If you start with Stalagmite, then you say, oh, well, now I can't run Crown of Seeds because I'm not pitching on defense. So then you go to a different thought process.
I still think you run Crown of Seeds because it's
I know, everybody's got their cards, right?
You could literally take old Bravo, your old Bravo deck. If you're out there and you have old Bravo, just get a copy of the new Bravo, get a Crown of Seeds and get a shield, and get the Ice Hammer. Technically, I think that deck is already better than the old Bravo deck.
Really?
Like just
better than an Othos. Just straight up.
So in most 99% of cases, he's just so those 2 things, the shield and the crown, helps so much in the dash match, which is the weakest match. Helps in ninja, helps in it's crazy what it does. Anyways,
it's pretty wild. You got tools for the problematic matchups that you had.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm setting all this up so you can show
kind
us
of like
how Ranger evolves.
There was a problem, and then there was an immediate set with a solution in it.
But where I ended up is doing that path, and you keep, then you're like, okay, can I ever pull this ability off on him? You need all 3 elements in hand. You start messing with stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm playing an old him deck, except for I don't have old him's reaction. Like, this is just worse.
Yeah.
So then I had to throw that completely out, and then this is what we ended up with. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Tell me about. Fine. I took over from you. Go ahead.
Okay, so Zach's got that deck built. I'm sure we're gonna unbox that and talk about it. We might start with that. Maybe we'll start with that. We'll start with how you got to where you are with Bravo.
Okay.
Card looks great. I mean, there is a lot to be said about that.
Top down. Yeah. So, it looks like the card on the screen until you do this. And then it's just wild, man. Have you seen this? Look at this thing in person. Like. Also, I want to say the Everfest packs are incredible.
They work.
We were going to open a box here on stream, but I forgot my box. But with this card, it's really wild because the way you open packs, you actually see the back of the back card.
So then there's Bravo.
Well, he's not the last card in the pack, but it's this kind of thing where, like, it's almost impossible not to see that it's there.
So it's a big moment.
So then you open the pack and you know what's happening. And it's really cool. Anyways, here you go.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful card. So maybe we'll go through your deck, and then what I'm going to do, ever since that fateful day in Vegas, whenever I swore off Azalea forever.
When was that?
September. Yeah. We're back.
We made it 4 months.
But hey, there's 2 sets that have happened since I did that. Tales of Aelia came out.
In September.
And the other one.
Yeah.
Everfest. And Monarch?
Monarch was already out.
Okay.
We were playing Monarch Sealed at the...
Where's Overflex from? That's from Aelia, right?
Yeah. See, there was a Ranger in Aelia.
Yeah, so that was...
So there were Ranger
and
cards.
I resisted because it was like, I don't want to be hurt again, kind of a thing. So. And then Everfest comes out, and there's a lot of Ranger cards in there too, so I figured it's time to saddle back up and take a look. So I've got some theories... all of this story.
I'm so excited to hear
all this
whatever
story
you're
was
doing.
To say that we were playtesting that game. Zach bought a coffee for both of us, which meant that I was up until like 3 a.m.
I was wondering how that was related.
Staring at Azalea Ranger cards and having some great ideas that I think will definitely change the way that I approach Azalea. And I don't think that they will actually change my win percentage, but I think that I'll be onto a new way of playing Azalea that is at least consistently losing, if not inconsistently winning.
It consistently does what it does. So we'll probably end up playing Bravo versus Azalea today, the classic match, which is a tough match for Azalea, notably. But we're also doing... Also, you want to switch back to... Look at that, Azalea. That's the Azalea, whatever that is. Whereas Steven, I don't know.
Steve Azalea.
What we're planning on doing, we're hosting a ProQuest on like March 12th or 13th. Let me find that link.
We're going to have to scotch guard this mat, aren't we?
Yeah, well, you know what? I found out you can actually throw these things in the washer.
Oh, I wouldn't dare.
I did it with a mat to test it, and it worked beautifully.
I wouldn't dare. We should just... We can spray it with something.
March 12th, ProQuest here in Tulsa. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Just
anybody ever spray their play mats? With like Scotch Guard or whatever, not champagne.
So over the next, month on the stream, we're essentially preparing for that event, and we're going to be playing different decks that we want to play and testing it against various stuff we need to test it against. Starting, of course, with 2 of our favorite classes / heroes, Bravo and Azalea.
Mm-hmm. So we're basically just going to reveal all the secrets of how to win a ProQuest. And then when it is won, it's like, oh my gosh, I saw how to do it the whole time.
Yeah. There are ProQuests happening this weekend. There's also previously called the ProQuest, now called the Battle Hardened, happening somewhere this weekend.
When did that happen? And can somebody tell me what that actually is?
They recently announced they were doing ProQuest in store.
Okay.
And the ProQuest has become, if you win this event, you qualify for the upcoming Pro Tour.
That makes total sense because you're on a quest for the Pro Tour. Right?
Previously, it was the ProQuest because you're not playing in the calling day 2, and the winner gets a PTI. So
Also an invitation to a Pro Tour.
Technically, you could use it to get to the Pro Tour. You can also use it for like a national championship or a world championship or
a Pro Tour invite can be used on a non-Pro Tour. Well, that's confusing.
Technically, it's a professional tournament invite.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's not a Pro Tour
That
invite.
makes it okay. I do like that. That solves literally all the
I
problems.
like the name Battle Hardened less than ProQuest. Battle Hardened Champion feels like you're trying a little more.
Sounds like you're kind of tough, you know?
I don't know. Anyways, so that's happening this weekend. We also have ProQuest. They're starting, I think, not this weekend, but next weekend. So tournament lists are going to start flooding in. There's going to be a meta that gets established and all this kind of stuff. One thing I will say is that the community is getting big enough and active enough and talking enough that I think any secret tech that you have probably isn't going to be secret. Even little combos I was finding after we streamed last week talking through all the previews.
What kind of a combo did you find?
So one of the cards I've kind of become obsessed with. It's funny. We had some hot takes last week that I totally disagree with now. Or I was kind of like, yeah, this card seems interesting, right? I was talking about the Majestic equipment that are replacements for the early legendaries. Mask of the
Pouncing Lynx.
Yeah.
And quill
Vaccine Quill Hand, yeah. SpongeBob SquarePants. That's the pacing of that word.
Wormfang Descom.
But the one that really I've come back to is Earthlore Bounty. And I actually...
The armor.
Not only do I think
Guardian
this is a good tectonic replacement, tectonic plating, I think there is a potential future world where it is the default.
Interesting.
Blocks for 2 and then 1, but it blows up on the second one.
It is Guardian.
So, their chess piece was 2 and 1 anyway. It just didn't blow up. And you create a seismic surge every time an action card you control draws you a card.
Yeah.
So it's more conditional, but it's also less restrictive because you can get a whole bunch of surges.
Do you think that's why Plunder Run was one of the reasons Plunder Run had to go? Because there's a lot of card interactions.
I'm so as one of my favorite cards, and also how good it would be in the new Bravo is just a daily devastation for me. I wake up and that's what. No, I'm just kidding. But it's things like this, right? A card that I think a lot of people didn't think was particularly good is Tome of Harvest. Pitch a blue, play it, ditch an arsenal. So using 3 cards to draw 3. With Earthlore Bounty out, it's draw 3
money basically,
and 3 surges going to the next round. And let me tell you, Bravo's ability on top of free attack actions, like when you're 1 card hand into like Crippling Crush at 13 with Dominate and go again, it's just like, or 2 card and then you swing the hammer, it's just like, what is happening? Anyways, Earthlore Bounty, high on the list. The thing I was like, oh, I'm so excited, no one's been talking about this. There's a Potion of Luck.
Right. Discard, you shuffle things in and draw 5.
Your hand and your arsenal get shuffled into your deck and you draw 5. Which then would create 5 surge tokens. Right. So it's just crazy. But I already see people talking about it. Like it's just so many people.
Man, people can read as well.
Yeah. So
they can. I think do a search for draw.
I think in keeping secrets, the main victories, the innovations to me are not that kind of stuff. That stuff gets figured out.
Yeah.
But it's the little stuff like been testing Briar as well. Like did some testing this weekend, and really good. Recognition is with Briar's ability being changed. With the errata, she only creates 1 Earth token.
Embodiment of Earth, yeah.
Comparison of what's the card? Bramblespark versus Nimbleism. So Bramblespark is +3, the red one, +3 and an arcane, but it's only +3 if you fuse.
Sure.
So it's less consistent than the 3 you get from Nimbleism. Previously, though, the extra value in the arcane damage being separate and probably getting you extra Earth tokens was a factor of that. But now you only get it on the first time. So a lot of times that extra ping of damage isn't doing what it used to do.
So you've managed to find another reason to run more generic cards in Briar?
I don't think it's a clean sweep.
Are you running Nimble Strike?
Well, not yet, but you might get to that point,
of course you do, because 1 for 5 go again is built into that.
The value's just right there.
I love Nimble Strike.
Yeah, but
my favorite cards.
Point being, you play reps. I think the biggest thing is actually those thousands of little lessons you learn along the way about little valuations and when to pitch certain cards and when to play. So it's fine if you want to keep your tech secret, but I've also found the more you talk and share and stuff, the more you get.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very nice. I don't believe that at all. So we're going to talk about Azalea, and I really want everyone to stay put for that. I know it's going to be an exciting moment for everybody's fab experience. Remember where you were on this day when Azalea became an award-winning deck.
Bookmark it.
Meantime, talk me through Bravo. Tell me what you've done here.
So it'll be pretty quick, conceptually speaking. Like I said.
You want to go top down?
Yeah, sure. This is where you start for me. You have Bravo. If you reveal Earth, Lightning, and Ice at the start of the turn, your next attack action that costs 3 or more specifically gets +2, dominate, and go again.
Yeah. Wait, are you going for that, or is it just kind of like happy accident kind of situation?
When I first saw Bravo, I was like, you won't consistently ever be able to do that. Like three element cards, and then you have to make use of this. So your 4th card almost has to be an attack that's worth playing.
Sure.
And then you have to be able to pay for that attack and also do something with the go again. The problem with go again and Guardian a lot of times is that it's so resource intensive. 2 attacks doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have this hammer, which is cool. So if you have a blue after you play the attack. So I started here, and I technically started with the Bravo.
So basically, Bravo's ability at its maximum is getting a big attack for free and then swinging the hammer. Let that go again.
That's
the idea.
That's essentially where we are arriving at.
Okay.
So then the next card I got fascinated with, as we were looking at the loadout, right? Here's the weapon.
Looking at the spaceship of value here.
Right. And the ice hammer's nice, so naturally you're like, I'm going to lean ice.
Mm-hmm.
You need blue ice cards
blues
to pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And blue is just the Guardian, secret. Not really secret. It's a very badly kept secret. Earthward Bounty is where I went next. Because you get access to all these elemental cards, and they're so weird for Bravo because a lot of them don't block for 3. A lot of them aren't blue when you want them to be, right? You look at something like blue Electrify versus red Electrify, and it's like, I don't know.
+1 conditional damage, not exactly lighting the world on fire, huh?
So to hit his ability and also make use of elementals, I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to pull up every card that draws a card.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of elemental cards that do that. There's 1 from each color. You have Electrify, you have...
so they come out of the arsenal they draw.
Yeah, come out of arsenal draw. So Tomorrow and the ice one that is Dominate, I think, if they don't pay 1, which is totally reasonable. Then you have stuff like Tome of Harvest, of course. Then you also have stuff like Tome of Fandel, classic. A lot of times in Guardian, I used to run 1 Tome of Fandel with Mage Master Boots. But now Tome of Fandel is heal, get a bigger hand, and get 2 Surge tokens for the next round because of Earthward Bounty.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Currently on the standard, Crater Fist, just armor, basically, that's what this is. Yeah. I'm excited about the day when that ability actually matters. I've been looking forward to that future for a long time, and we're not at that future.
That's like that's your Perch Grapplers.
Yeah.
Although we may have arrived at Perch Grapplers finally.
Well, except for it blocks twice.
That is a notable difference.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's where I started, and started building the deck, and there's fundamental stuff you gain access to in the elemental pool that is really good. Oakenhold's a really good card.
Everybody thinks that's the specialization of Oldhim.
It's not.
It's not.
It's the Endless Winter.
Even though it has him on the thing, right?
It sure does. Yeah. It's a 3 for 7, so that's fine. If you fuse it with Ice and Earth, though, it's +2 and Dominate, and 2 cards go randomly on the bottom. Huge value if you're already running... I have the Ice Hammer, so I'm leaning more into Ice than anything else. And then essentially trying to use the elemental cards that he can use. Other than that, and
where do you go with attacks? Is it mainly Guardian big attacks, or do you go with the elementals like the Winter's Grasps and those kinds of things?
Well, the problem with that is that you need 3 cost attacks to use Bravo's ability. And a lot of the elemental attacks aren't 3 cost. The other thing is all the elemental attacks, like Ice and stuff, aren't elemental. So, as an example...
They're like elemental attack, not ice attack, right?
Yeah. So one of the key just fun things that you can do in the deck is you get access to all the double element cards as well.
The pulses.
So he can play the full
Lentils, dolls.
So really, when you hit one of these, right, you only need 1 other card to do the fusion.
It's gross. You're missing one in the cold foil, bro.
I know. I have it. I just don't have it in this deck.
This is disgusting.
I know.
How could you even play with this?
It's really gross. Yeah, I'm kind of disgusted myself. Yeah. But point being, in terms of at first I thought his ability is you just would never hit it, right?
You're really all in on Fab, aren't you? I mean, you're like all in, and like adult all in. Like you have the income at this point to be like, I am going to get the cards that I want. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks great.
The double fusion element cards are crazy in cold foil.
Yeah.
They're some of my favorite cards in the world.
It's just kind of cool, to be in that spot.
Yeah.
Starting out with like trying to scrape by and buy a pack of spoils, and now just being like, all right, I'm gonna get these pulses in gold foil.
I'm gonna get all. Those were like one of the cheapest things that you could buy in the gamut of things. Anyways, so the amount you're trying to hit his ability, the balance is you don't want to have a bunch of elemental cards that don't do anything.
Do you play these? Do you ever play these when you?
Yeah, I mean sometimes you need the 2-for-6 react that makes all your elemental cards +1 defense. That's pretty good. Putting cards back on top of your deck can be great, right? Because you can essentially put like an earth and a lightning on top if you already have an ice card.
Sure.
So you're queuing that up.
That's good with the hammer, huh?
It's a.
The answer is yes.
Yes, it's very good. You do play that on the hammer. But the other thing is that's a +4. So like cards, their elemental attacks, the elemental guardian attacks, it can modify too, including the one I was just talking about. Oakenol. But then I think most particularly, like the craziest card you actually gain access to. And there's fun stuff. You get like Lake Frigid. It's a blue. It blocks for 3. It also shuts down the go wide decks. You also get Blink, which is a great
Blink's awesome. Doesn't that solve your Prism problem to some degree?
It helps. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It helps.
Ranger's still looking for that answer.
But you still have to, so you have to have a blue for the hammer. You have to play Blink. You also have to have an attack that you can play and pay for past that point. So like, it can be a lot. Now it particularly helps with cards like Tome of Faendal without having to use the boots. So you can Tome of Faendal, get your life, play Blink, and then be back in the action.
Why?
But probably the most ridiculous card I've ever played with, and you're going to come to love and hate it, is Awakening, which came out last set.
Yeah, everyone thought it was busted in the end of the game, but it's turned out it was fine. But maybe now it is.
It's not, but it is really awesome to get like 15 Seismic Surges and a Crippling Crush, and then start your turn, reveal it, and now all of a sudden you're playing a free Crippling Crush with Dominate +2 and go again. I've had some devastating turns off the back of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Like in the craziest way possible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of concepts going on there. This deck is by no means perfect. But
what are your main attacks there? Crippling, etc.
Yeah. So I mean, you have Command and Conquer. You have Snow Under. So you do have element cards. So
I love Snow Under. Man, I played that in Sealed so much.
Oh yeah. You have Oakenol.
Was the jam.
I have one Macho Grande because it's got built-in Dominate. So like in game shows up, you have an Awakening. You can literally play an Awakening, go get the surges, and just keep this one card and send 8 Dominate back at them.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Super good.
You don't have Dominate on tap, so that you got to keep that in mind, or you can't play the standard Crush stuff quite as well.
Yeah,
although you don't really dominate that much anyway.
It just means they got to block, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're not dominating, which is the anti-dominate. I'm just getting all my attacks out that are one-ofs. They're not one-ups, but I'm getting one of each of my attacks.
Righteous Cleansing. Don't you love that?
Yeah.
What a beautiful card.
So, I think the biggest thing is that you have 3 Crippling.
I'm glad you're on Mulch. I was a big fan of Mulch.
3 Oaken, 3 Snow Under. Mulch's fine, right?
Yeah.
Especially Earthor Surge or Earthor Bounty makes this a lot better. There's a lot of turns where you end up with 1 or 2 Surge tokens. Paying 2 for this is totally reasonable.
It was always very difficult in Seal to get that one to work.
And then depending on the matchup, right? I think you have Spinal Crush, Righteous Cleansing, and Cranial Crush. Just depends on what you're playing against and what they have going on. Anyone that's going heavy go again, you're on Spinal. Anyone looking for very specific pieces, Righteous Cleansing is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Like against Briar, you just go snipe their Mount Heroics kind of a thing. That can be really frustrating.
Yeah.
And then Cranial Crush is just again, if you're not paying for it, like you have an Awakening or something, suddenly the ability not to draw in your turn is relevant.
It's pretty good.
It can't.
As a player of disabling effects, it can be very good.
Yeah. So,
very, very good.
Anyways, I've been having a ton of fun with it. I'm also hitting that.
You think it's competitive?
Well-defined competitive.
Do you think the spark, right? The when the training wheels come off and you're in the arena with the most tweaked Prism decks and Briar decks and that kind of thing. Is this fun and interesting, or is it like, no, this if we spend an hour every day tweaking this, it can absolutely win a ProQuest or a Calling or something like that?
So I think it's really good. I think it's better than Old Bravo.
What?
Yeah.
Well, then you've answered the question. Bravo could already win that stuff.
But the Bravo, he still has the same problem in my mind, which is Prism is enemy number one. Smashing Good Time and the Shield both really help with Dash, which was another weak spot. I love it too, because everyone, when Prism first got preview, it's like, oh, Guardian and Brood are going to be so good against this thing. And Guardian's just miserable about it.
The hardest.
And Prism actually got a lot of it's even worse. Because Prism got all those zero-cost auras. So play pattern that you've discovered very quickly is their turn is there, and they're like, oh, do their stuff and play a zero-cost aura. It's like, all right, fine. Then your turn is happening. It's like, all right, well, I'm Guardian. I probably have one attack. Now, it's somewhat better because you maybe get Go again. You get Blink, right? Yeah, I haven't that. If I were gonna compete with this, I would need to spend probably 10 cards in the sideboard specifically for Prism.
Snaps and skippers and all sorts of stuff, right?
Maybe time skippers, maybe enlightened strikes. Like, you just have to be able to attack at them to clear spectral shields, and then also waste an attack on the aura.
Pitch and hammer.
They play a cheap aura, and it's like on their turn. Then your turn's happening. If you swing at that aura with your one action,
you've lost.
Then they're like, I'll play a Genesis. And then it's like, oh, now you're going to put a card under, get a shield, get a card. It's just like, what is happening?
You can't. I mean, you can't. Just if you think about it in here, if they do anything plus play an aura and you do nothing but kill the aura, they'll forever win on an infinite amount of anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now, that said, I think Briar and Viscera both are very good into Prism at this point.
They got Go again for days. Of course they are.
And biggest secret is do all the stuff you're going to do. Clear an aura, whatever you're doing, but save an action. And don't even swing the sword. Just save an action, the sword.
Save the action.
But anyways, so could this deck do well? I think so. You have to dodge Prism, I think. And or I'd have to really work at solving, because there's a lot going on in this engine. I really like it. It feels like I'm fully playing Flesh and Blood when I'm playing.
Well,
managing, like, it's not just about...
This may have been the original Bravo.
It's not just about, like, what are you attacking and blocking with? And, like, how much do you block with, right? That old Bravo was, like, really clear a lot.
Yeah.
And
more of mathematical, but straight line.
There's risk-reward. Way more. And you're, you'll see as we play.
It feels like with the designs that are coming out, that's really what's being pursued on the design front. That it's becoming more about, like, what kind of things you're establishing for the mid game, late game. Like, what are you setting yourself up for by putting potions on the board or amulets on the board, those kinds of things. How are you pitch stacking? Like, it feels like that side of the game is starting to come alive a little bit more, where you have a definite game plan that is not just exchanging value turn by turn.
Yeah.
Or at least you do. I mean, I don't.
Oh, man.
You want to talk about Azalea?
Yeah, so I'm curious what's on the Azalea brain.
Well, I had some time off, right?
Yeah, because it snowed.
Well, I mean, for like months.
Oh, that time off.
Yeah. Where I got to play some good heroes, like Bolton, as an example, and I started winning all the time.
Constantly, never lost.
I never lost. I mean, I only lost a few times, fluke games. And so I was thinking to myself, why is it that I'm winning here and losing over there? And one of the biggest problems, of course, is consistency. Like, every hand is capable of basically doing what you need it to do. You don't have turns with Bolton where just suddenly you aren't playing the game.
Because he can basically almost always block.
4-3.
Yeah. And
with
then
all those cards.
He can also attack and charge.
Yeah. And
sometimes more.
His math is weird. The charge turns are not great math, but, they escalate into these bigger turns. So you kind of reframe where you're like, okay, what are the big moments I'm trying to create if that's how Azalea ultimately is meant to be played? How do I get consistency? That's what I was obsessed with,
consistency.
So if you talk about just coming in, okay, so wipe the table clean. Let's talk about
start
range.
over, right? Take a break.
Talk about, before you try to do anything, what are you trying to not do? And what you're trying to not do is have turns where you don't do anything.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. Now, for most classes, I would say that's not terribly difficult to figure out, because in the worst case scenario, you swing your weapon.
Yeah.
Right. But people like Leviah and Azalea have particular challenges where there are additional conditions to them doing anything on their turn. Like with Leviah, if you don't banish a card and you have 3 in the blood debt stack, you're taking 3 damage, or 12 or 15. So there are additional ways that you can have a nothing turn that either kills you or kills you slowly. in the case of Azalea. So how do you then prevent the do-nothing turns was the first question that I was entertaining. And so I wanted to look at, the big problem is what happens when you have an all non-attack hand? What happens when you have an all arrow hand? And what in those categories of cards, a la Runeblade, could be utilized to solve the problem that they're already creating, right? Mm-hmm. So what non-attacks solve the problem of having too many non-attacks? Which gets you down to some interesting cards. So nothing new and terribly crazy or exciting. So good examples you start to look at is the value of reload to me was small previously. It has gotten higher because in a hand of all non-attacks, you can play one, reload one of those non-attacks into your arsenal. What that allows you to do is flip it up for cross-wrap opt, which allows you to, if this is an arrow, put it in with Azalea. If it's not, put it to the bottom and blind one in. So you got the top 6 cards would have to be non-attacks for you to break a turn. It'll happen, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you're previously pretty low on reload.
Yeah. So reload has gotten higher because those cards, if they're all in the same hand, can actually find an arrow for you. Which means cards like Poison the Tips get more interesting again. Cards like Take Aim get more interesting again, the standard pump. And then you look at cards like the Glide Path one, the new one. So this is a pump that is opting instead of reloading. But if you imagine a hand of non-attacks, maybe you have 1 with reload, 2 with opt 1, and then random other card that isn't an arrow. The combination of these kinds of cards can eventually, and if you have something in your arsenal, you can have, cross wrap. Oh, it's not an arrow. Put it down. Opt 1 with Read the Glide Path. It's not an arrow. Put it down. Play another Read the Glide Path. Oh, it is an arrow. Yeah. Now we're here, right?
This is so good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good.
Read the Glide Path is just like, it's checking every box you needed to check.
And I think...
minus blocking for 3.
I think it's just the art that I want to see all the time when I'm playing Ranger.
Yeah. I mean, how many of these you playing? 9?
I don't know, man. What, did you really play a blue 2 block for +1 and opt?
I mean, it's the resource and it fixes your all non-attack option hand, right?
I mean, it's not terrible. But they all fix it to some degree. You could play blue Take Aim for the same reason, right? Is opt more important than reload? Because opt doesn't matter if reload isn't on the table in a non-attack environment.
Opt would matter if it was played from hand, though, right? If you already had an arsenal?
If you already had an arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, so technically, like if you draw 4 and you have something in arsenal.
Like you mean a 5-card hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly prepared.
Just pick. Well, I'm picturing like if you put whatever in arsenal, pump, etc.
It's actually a good question of what whatever actually would be.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to put an arrow there.
Right.
So if you're left with an arrow in your hand, you really don't want it there because then you have no way to turn it up. You can hope that you hit an arrow on top with Azalea, and then you can flop it out. Otherwise, your turn is shooting that arrow. And whatever that turn looks like, you don't know until you draw your hand for the next time. So that can be really risky if you have an arrow in arsenal. But it could be some non-attacks. It could be Read the Glide Path in arsenal. You opt that up with cross wrap. Don't like that card. You play the Glide Path. Opt again. Oh, I do like that card. But now you're having to put the arrow in with Death Dealer, and you're drawing the cards that you're opting rather than Azaleaing the cards that you're opting. So you really want to be able to load an arrow, then use your non-attacks to opt the top of the deck. Now you can play Redliner to get around that, but there's a lot of reasons you shouldn't do that. So I basically started making a short list of here's all the non-attacks that if in a hand together give me the best shot at still playing an arrow that turn. So that was the first thing. And the second question is, of the arrows I can play, if I have a hand of all arrows, what are the best arrows in that hand to solve that problem? And so you're looking for go again and reload again on those. And that gets
we have some new tools for that, right?
That gets you to Bolt and Shot from Aelia, which is a solid include. It also gets you kind of to weird cards like Life of the Party, which I'm not convinced on. But you basically have to say,
I like the Moxie, my friend.
You have to say, if I have a hand of all attacks, what can I do with this hand? So if that hand is Ravenous Rabble and 3 arrows, you can play Ravenous Rabble and you can play 1 arrow. That's 2 things you can do. If it's all arrows and no go again or reload, you can play 1 arrow. That's all that you can do. If you look at a card like Tri-Shot, if that's around in your arsenal, for instance, and then you have a 4 arrow hand, Then you can potentially pitch a blue, crack the Purge Grappers, load the bow 3 times, draw 3 cards, shoot 3 arrows.
That's a pretty good turn.
That's a pretty okay situation as well. So looking at go again attacks, looking at like you at nimbleism, nimble strike, those kinds of things. Also just looking at some strong new arrows that have my attention.
I have the Majesticals over here.
Oh man, there's some questions with these. Like Rain Razors is such a question mark. It's such a question mark. I mean, it's obviously a Lexi card. And why do people say this, right? So why is Lexi supposed to be the wide ranger, and why is Azalea the tall ranger?
Well, she's got an arrow that's an instant that can give go again. That you can use twice.
That is why, yes.
Right?
The bow. So there are a couple of reasons. One is the bow that you can just load twice, which gets over your problems, and it does grant go again. So like multi-arrow hands are automatically just fine.
Yeah.
It's also that New Horizon has the weird text that something has to be face up before you can put something in the second slot. And she has an ability that does that to a card.
Yeah.
Right? So what Azalea can run into is like getting in a situation where you're kind of perpetually stuck trying to run New Horizon, but it's so progressively harder for you, or comparatively harder for you, to get a face-up card and also a card that matters. And now you've got like a defense reaction here face down. They don't attack you in a way that you want to play that defense reaction. Now you've got to basically just Azalea in a face-up before this slot unlocks again. And it's like, but then you use your bow once a turn anyway, and it's like there's a million ways it's not awesome.
So you're still on the old scuba suit.
I think I'm still in the scuba suit.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
And I think even Death Dealer, there's new text on Dreadbore that actually makes it okay. Like, you notice on like Redliner, for instance, it says if you have no cards in your arsenal, put an arrow card face up. So even if you do have the slot open, because you already have a card in arsenal, you can't even fill it with your bow.
Redliner, New Horizon, not good.
Now, Dreadbore is the first one that actually you can use in this way. So I don't know if this is an intentional design choice, or if the early language on the bows was overly restrictive on accident, not expecting New Horizon to actually be in the game. But this says you can put an arrow card from your hand face up into an empty arsenal zone, rather than if you have no cards in your arsenal.
Gotcha.
Right?
Is this the only arrow that says that?
This is the only bow that Azalea can play that says that.
Yeah, she's not
so like I believe
way.
Death Dealer is the same way as Redliner. If you have nothing in your arsenal, put one in. So it just like there's a lot of anti-synergies there that makes you think, well, I don't want to try to make this work. It's already hard enough to shoot one arrow, let alone trying to get any amount of other arrows. So basically the question becomes like,
yeah, that's what just saying. No cards in arsenal.
that's right. So it becomes about how can you push as hard as you can for consistency. So I'm looking at the non-attacks that have reload and opt. I'm looking at attacks with go again, like Enlightened Strike, surprise, etc. And I'm looking at some of these new arrows just because they're really good. Like Fatigue Shot is low-key one of the best arrows in the entire toolkit.
Yeah, someone earlier was saying, let me find that.
I'll die on this hill too, because I don't know that a lot of people agree with that. But
someone earlier said they liked it. I couldn't find it. Also,
Fatigue
Benjamin
Shot?
Lyon. They were like, hey, I really like Fatigue Shot.
yeah, Fatigue Shot is kind of what I was looking for a while. It's just a generically good arrow that you're probably always happy to shoot. So 1 for 5 is the standard exchange in Ranger. That's your standard arrows at 1 for 5. But it's going to half the attack of the next, and this is an important attack action card that they play. So when I first read the card, I was like, oh, well, Ninja can just swing with a Kodachi and clear the effect. But it is attack action card. I think any attack action card that your opponent plays that's worth anything is 4 or higher.
Yeah.
Right? When's the last time you launched a 3 damage attack?
Well, unless you could be playing the Belittle package.
You could be. There's some heroes that'll probably deal with it better.
It's very specific, though, right? I mean,
like
it's
Mechanologists might have that. Actually, they have a lot of boost 3s and stuff.
Even that's
worth
worth 2 in value.
Because
it's half rounded up, right?
Yep, it is.
So even a 3 turns into 2.
You'd have to launch
2.
a 2. So like if Benji was adult, maybe that would be a thing you wouldn't want to play it in that matchup. But
even a 2, I mean, it's 1 for 6 value,
which is not going to win you any games.
Yeah, but I don't have very many cards doing that.
It's 1 for 7 in your average exchange of a 4 damage attack, and then it only scales up.
Yeah, and that'll be super good against Guardian.
Yeah. 8, 9, 10.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get really, really good rates with
what
this
it really
card.
turns into is, I mean, if you have Dominate, it's one thing. It's block it.
Yeah.
At all. You're coming in for 8, it's like, well, do I want to 6 damage, crippling crush, or do I want to take no damage?
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
and I think the reality we have to live in is that this class, well, Azalea specifically, is built around shooting a dominated arrow for an effect that slows you down enough that you eventually win the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the theory. Now, I'm glad Tri-Shot's here as a blue 0 cost 3 defense card. That's already a piece of the pie that I have been missing for the longest time, right? Like having that and knock in the same deck.
Oh yeah,
Great.
I'm
0/3, good.
painfully familiar with the value of blues that block for 3.
Tri-Shot, I think it's obviously going to be better in Lexi in most cases, or whatever this gas mask ranger eventually turns out to be, mechanologist, etc.
I mean, if you get the death dealer going with that can get...
Yes, if you have Tri-Shot and a blue and 3 arrows in your hand, and you don't block anything, it's a great turn. But it's still worth 15 to 16 damage.
Do you need 3 arrows? You don't need 3 arrows in hand yet.
Not technically.
Because you're going to be
But
drawing.
you could also brick into shooting 1 arrow, hoping that you draw 1 and not getting it.
Yeah.
Now, in Lexi, where you can run 3 of a kind on top of this really easily, like those turns get really good.
Yeah.
But Azalea has a much harder time running 3 of a kind
That's going to be
because
so painful with Lexi.
you 3 of a kind and then you can't load 2 arrows instantly, which is a bit of an issue for Azalea.
It does at least... Like, this to me with 3 of a kind is kind of interesting because you're still going to get the cards off of this. So you'll have resources and hopefully enough arrows to make that actually a thing. Because you can load it and shoot it three times if it's the right. But you'd have to be on the go again arrow package to me. Like heavy.
Well, you have to crack the boots. I mean, this is 1 turn in the game. You crack the perch coppers finally. It's 2 cost. All your arrows have go again. So then you have to have that blue for the 2 cost and the load to start the engine and the Tri-Shot in arsenal/hand. So the number of times when you might have that set up and the crippling crush hits, or you know how the game works, right? That for that to be your dream turn, like my dream turn with Bolton is 28 damage.
Yeah.
My dream turn here, and the problem with Ranger in general is that the value of consistently stacking up multiple disabling effects is progressively worse.
Yeah.
It just means they're blocking more or they're just not going to take a turn anyway. So the 3rd or 4th remorseless red in the ledger, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's true.
It's iffy, but you're going to play it, right? You're going to try it for sure. Rain Razors is good on that turn.
Yeah.
Period.
Rain Razors is interesting because, like, even if you shoot 2 arrows, it's 0 for 4, which is basic. Like, you have Scar for a Scar as an example.
Yeah.
Or Ravenous Rabble, technically. Or
I mean, the good thing there is the instant speed, right? So it's reaction speed plus 2.
With the hit effects. And plus 2 is a weird on your 5s.
Yeah. It's a good break point.
I get it.
For that. I mean, obviously, yet again, you come back to Lexi is just better at shooting multiple arrows in a turn.
Yeah.
So it feels really good in that build, and I think it's absolutely disgusting in that build, honestly. Because a lot of those hit effects are also creating frostbite tokens or doing degenerate things that are kind of universally valuable. Battering Bolt's a weird card.
It is a very weird card.
Yeah.
2 for 6 arrow. Okay.
It's really... The best thing about this arrow is Prism. We have our first 6 attack thing in the card pool. Yeah. Now...
Sometimes that's enough.
Against certain heroes, I mean, I'm glad I don't have to put in those yellow 2 for 7s or whatever I was running at Vegas. It has upside for sure. I mean, I prefer a blue Azalea anyway that's running on a blue curve, so this is fine. Load Death Dealer for 1, shoot a Battering Bolt for 2 is a fine hand to have. It's anti-synergy with a lot of the rest of the class. Your nimbleisms don't affect it. Your razor reflexes don't affect it. Those cards have typically been a pretty big part of Ranger builds in general. Against certain classes, I just need to test it, right? Like against certain classes, I think it would be strong. Like Dory is going to run a lot of attack reactions. It's going to be really strong against Dory. That's a tough matchup for us anyway. It's hard to find an easy one though, to be honest with you. So like, what are you going to do?
I mean, do you think there's a future where we get a lot more of these like 2 cost plus arrows?
Yeah, I could see that.
That's kind of like a build.
Like a bigger Ranger build? I could see that. The ballista style.
Then you could play like Pummel, right? I immediately thought of Pummel with this and like picturing some of your hit effects with Pummel. if you can actually pair the two.
If you can put it together.
Like imagine if you had like a 3 for 7 with some of the hit effects you have.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
It's like, and you have like your big beefy ranger.
Well, I mean, the problem is you have to load it as well, right? So it's a 4 cost, 7 damage attack. Yeah. And like when you start to look at the fundamental math of those kinds of things, it's like your attacks are harder to do, and they seem to be about the same on the math.
Yeah.
So the hit effects have to be bringing a ton of value, and Battering Bolt is going to be anywhere from a 2 for 6 to a 2 for 10. If they actually discard those as well, it's like obviously extremely good.
Yeah.
But you also do have to dominate it, or they're just going to block with the cards they lose. So, you know, here and there, Fatigue Shot is my standout of the new arrows. What else is in here? I think we're probably on 6 Glide Pass. It's hard for me to run a +1 pump. Like, it's cool.
I'm with you.
But it's a card for 1. Like, when
6...
you get down to it, it's a card for 1. No other hero is making this kind of exchange. You can't win the game playing a card for 1 damage.
Yeah, it's not good.
No matter what.
Yeah. Now,
right?
Well, it's really probably more than 1, because if it's your blue, you're pitching it. And then if you're playing it as a blue, it's probably because you needed the opt. It reminds me of my Briar turns. Like anything that gets me out of a total non-attack hand is worth so much more than the face value of that card.
Would you rather have that at blue or Whisper the Oracle opt 2 block 3? Because it gets you out of the same problem. It blocks for 3, and it still pitches for blue.
Whisper.
Yeah, right?
But
I'm the same way, but I couldn't even afford Whisper in the other one.
Since we last visited Fabland of deck building, probably like 3 months ago, my opinion on Whisper the Oracle has gone to the moon. I love that card. Absolutely just love that card.
Okay, well then I'm going to play the blue, for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's talk about Dreadbore for a second, because I wanted this to matter. I did. I really did, from the bottom of my heart. It looks great, and the text is compelling. Oh, look at it. I mean, look at it, though. It's nice looking, isn't it?
Yeah. I even went out of my way.
Did you purchase a cold foil Dreadbore?
I didn't purchase it. I just went out of my way to buy enough packs to make sure I got it.
I pulled one.
Hold on, let me find it. There you go. Look at the beautiful one.
That's nice, yeah. Yeah, nice looking for sure.
So why is this?
So it's interesting because it can play with New Horizons, something that Ryan and I were talking about on Discord the other night. Defense Reaction is not being played from hand. This chain link is nice on arrows. That's kind of cool. The thing about the class to me is that I didn't have any issues that were stemming from people playing defense reactions from hand, right?
It's defense reaction from Arsenal, though, the problem.
Sure. I mean, that's a bigger problem because that's how you get around Dominate, right? So, like, you turn off their sync belows and stuff. That kind of stuff is fine. I mean, if you're up against like if Ninja Turtle's a thing and they have all those flick flags and stuff like that can be, it can be a sideboard like thing depending on the meta.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there is an element of like if they are, the problem for me right now is that there's a lot of people that just aren't playing D-Reacts anymore.
Right.
But if people are on D-Reacts, those are usually reds and they're not getting pitched. And so if you have a hit effect with Dominate that's bad, even if they have something in Arsenal to D-React with, then they're going to have to lose probably. They're really down to like a 2-card hand after that.
They'll probably, yeah. I mean, most of the time you'd see like, sync from Arsenal, 3 block from hand for 7.
Yeah.
So you really need to have your +3 pump to go 8 Dominate to get around it. And then, and the armor and whatnot. So it's, I don't know, like the bigger problem to me is working through armor. It's not defense reactions. And you already have increased the tension. You already have now released the tension. You've got a pretty decent amount of tools, Remorseless, that's kind of playing with this defense reaction concept. So I was just surprised this was the direction. Now, interestingly enough, it's the first time Azalea can play Bolt and Shot with any kind of regularity, because it's giving you that +1, which is nice. So all the Lexi bows do +1 or something. And then Dreadbore is like +1 and also this passive. So like it makes sense on the math of it. And again, this is going to be in the game presumably forever, and there will be metas where this is better. But
and or matches.
in the grand scheme of drawing a card whenever you load an arrow, it just can't be beat. It just can't be beat.
Yeah. Now, I will say something I like is the idea of every class having enough weapons that you can bring 3 or 4 on your list and tailor the weapon to the matchup, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So it's nice to have around, but I agree with you. Like netting a card back, especially with how much opt you have in Azalea, is something.
It should be worth a lot.
A bow would have to be doing a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of value. And the fact that your opponent may not have any D-Reacts or may not run any at all, let alone in hand, makes this a very specific tool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. But it could work. And again, Bolt and Shot's a good card, and the fact that you can get it the +1, so Bolt and Shot has to be higher than its base strength to get the reload go again. So you can play red and yellow Bolt and Shot in Azalea, play Dreadbore, and that's a decent use case. Yeah. I think that's a fine thing to do.
Could be a whole build down that lane.
Could be a whole build, yeah.
All right.
And then finally, I just want to get this together, so let's build it up.
Okay.
Let's start.
Do you have a list somewhere?
I do. I've got basically these are the cards that I'm going to be looking at. It needs some tweaking, but
you get all these cards out.
So I'm going to play red in the ledger. It's a joke.
Really?
Yeah. 3 of a Kind is still on my short list. That it doesn't block for 3 is still the greatest mistake that LSS has ever made. More than Duskblade, more than anything else. 3 of a Kind, not blocking for 3. Put it on the wall. Somebody was not paying attention here.
Yeah. Or maybe
is
they
it that
were
hard
really
for it to block for 3? You know what I mean? Like, I've been playing these other heroes and it's like, oh, it blocks for 2. What a surprise. But with Rangers, like a 3 block is like
a miracle.
Water in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Just the same as always.
Yeah.
We got to play Remorseless, right? It's one of our best arrows. We're going to go with Fatigue Shots, of course.
Okay.
I might be on yellow Fatigue Shot. We'll see. Seek and Destroy, I'm going to come back for you. Poison the Tips, maybe. I think we might get here as well.
Okay.
Keep in mind, yellow is power the vast majority of your turns also. So
you're on, just let me listen. Are you on Skullbone?
Yeah, dude, I'm running the old school equipment.
You on Bullseye?
Yeah.
Not this stuff.
I'm not happy about it, but I am.
I can taste the disdain.
Now, Bullseye is one of those cards that can solve one of your problems also. That it can actually put an arrow in without having to use the bow, so you can get a couple of shots off if you need the... Now, Hamstring Shot, I think, is out for Fatigue Shot.
Okay, I like that.
Headshot is still... Man, against Prism, it's still a 1 for 6. But it doesn't have a hit effect. It's annoying me. But the blue's good.
Gotta have those resources.
It's a 1 for 4 arrow that blocks for 3. I'll take it.
We like the math, okay.
Ridge Rider's a good 3, too. Nobody actually wants to play this card. But it's a blue 3 block. Get you some money there. I'm a little alternative. I like the blues. I like the blue curve.
I mean, the Death Dealer curve.
I play some traditional Flesh and Blood, but what it means is I have one floating resource on top of what I might otherwise be doing. So it's about, do you have ways to use that resource? Now, if Ranger had something like Brave Forge Bracers,
that would be nice.
Anybody listening out there?
You just need that one piece of equipment.
I'm going to put Sikkim Shot in the pile. Not because it's good, but because it needs to be in the conversation. It is a go-again arrow. It can get you out of some problematic turns. Sikkim Shot into a Bullseye Bracers. Fine. Fine turn. Look at these traps.
Just waiting for the right hero, are they not?
Here's why I like the blue curve. I think Overflex is probably one of the more notable cards that I
haven't played with that yet,
I didn't fully appreciate it in Constructed, and I'm back.
1 for 4 with reload. Seems like it's doing a lot.
I think you can play the red and yellow here. I have the one floating from the blue curve. Yeah. I have reload. It's just basically a version of Take Aim that can be better. We only run the red Take Aim.
Every time you bust these cards out, my lens is so disturbingly filtered through Runeblade. Like,
what's it like being in the...
I saw these Overflex and it's like, oh yeah, and if you play 2 of them, you get nothing.
You know nothing. No, there's no compounding value for anything that
you're done with the standard.
So I think that's... Stuff. So I want to have the take covers out. See, here's the issue. Here's another big issue. All right, can I just... Is this...
Philosophy Power Hour,
Can I just vent?
Yeah, man. we got a whole year of Fab in front of us. We got to be ready for.
So, how you win an exchange in the game of Flesh and Blood, like we've talked about in some of our videos or meanders, is, especially if we think about Dominate, right? So we have we take some damage. We push a giant dominate arrow as you're going to have to take all of this damage. But you're left with all these cards in your hand. So then your return swing, we cover that up. And, as that levels out, we've done a lot of damage. And then we've kind of gone back on the defensive and we'll do it again, right? Kind of a Bolton play style.
It's like it is that same cycle, right? Mm-hmm. Because, let's say you swing for 10 with Dominate, they take some damage. Now they swing back hard. Mm-hmm. If you can cover that up, they took damage you didn't.
Right, and the disable effect should help that to happen. Right, Rend the Ledger being the great example of how they can't even muster it. But if all of your cards block for 2, then you dominate, and then they swing back, and you take a bunch of damage.
You get smashed.
And you're here again, right? So you haven't actually advanced your game state. So I value Take Cover maybe and Fate Foreseen are going to become more valuable just as basic cards in the deck. And then they hurt your consistency because welcome to London, right? You can't have it all. Okay, and I'll get Poison the Tips out and Seek and Destroy just to have them in our we want to run you pile.
We would like to
and
have
3 of a kind.
Yeah, so this is also notable. Part of my testing process is this exact thing. So my lists start out at 90 to 100 cards, and I have my 60 card deck that's kind of standard that I'm just trying to test. But then I have every other card I might sideboard in, and over time I whittle down to just the sideboard cards I need.
That's it.
But when you're testing, in this case, I think getting out all the stuff that you want to try is really handy.
It's the whole show.
You just got to swap them in and give it a shot.
Also, I think Dreadbore with some if our 0-cost arrows were worth anything, that would be good. Because, it's kind of interesting. Dreadbore, putting one in, you give it +1, it's now a 0 for 5. You'll need a red to power that exchange. Kind of interesting. But Searing Shot's the only one that we care about. And we'll get Sleep Darts out here just because.
We're also asking a question I know you've wrestled with over and over. Not wrestled with.
Bother?
Made a case for/against. Asking, is there a case for Rise Above over Fate Foreseen?
No. They're just not. I mean, there's not. Rise Above and the other one, the would you like to spin an entirely new extra card on the effect that we can get without it? What's that called? Seek the Horizon? Seek Horizon? So, it's, what is it? Is it 0 cost? Hold on.
Let's Seek Horizon?
Yeah.
It's you do that instead of paying the cost, I think.
It's in here, right? Is it generics?
Yeah.
I love binders. Oh my gosh. It's so good.
You're back in it, yeah. So you're in the attack.
Let's get to it.
There's the special attacks right there.
Grab the Alliance Strikes while we're here.
Yeah. Now, do you have Command and Conquer in
these aren't even the Noir versions.
Bolton?
Yeah.
Well, so you didn't have that in your Bolton deck, so there's 6 copies of it.
Which a lot of people will argue about.
Yeah,
it should be in there. It's not. It's not good. Drone. Look at all these. See, I like generics. Those Nimble Strikes, I love those. Might play those. So the weird generics in Monarch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of that. If you're under health stuff. Ravenous Rabble. Let's just get it on the table, right?
What are you gonna do? Not run it?
Maybe the best Ranger card there is.
It's got free go again. And opt, basically.
Goes again for free. Scar may be in there too again. Okay, Seek Horizon, let's look at this. As an additional cost, you put a card on top of your deck. If you do, it gains go again.
So 0 for 4.
Yeah.
And if you have a card, that you... The problem with this...
is it's not card positive. It's always card negative.
Well, there's 2 problems. Either you have a deck that you're never going to have a dead card.
Sure.
So if you have a card that you're just like, oh, well, I may as well spin this card because I wasn't going to get to use it to get go again. Mm-hmm. That just means you're probably not playing efficiently most of the time.
Sure.
Or the value of knowing the top card in your deck has to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
You have 3 red Ravenous Rabble in your hand? This could be really good.
It could be okay.
Right? If the other card happened to be blue and you had no other way of moving it off the top of your deck.
The way I like a Seek Horizon, though, is you're subtracting 3 from the whole point of playing the card.
Yeah. So it needs,
it's a 0 for 1.
It needs to be delivering.
It's got to be delivering. The top of the deck has to be delivering, and it can't be delivering in a way that you're doing what your deck is already doing, just in case it's in your hand instead of the top of your deck. You can get it there.
Yeah.
I've tried it. The hands that you need for this is like a 4-card hand before you can even play this card.
It's Sev saying, any update on Unlimited Everfest? Sorry, I just joined.
No,
I haven't heard
even
anything.
Know if it's happening, to be honest with you. The way James has been talking on those interviews.
I'm really curious because First edition boxes are pretty widely available. We have some on our site. You can find them all seemingly in a lot of places right now. So I'm curious if and when that will happen. We haven't had any official queues for it yet. Last set, I guess, we got unlimited within a month of the set coming out. So it literally just released this past Friday. Us having not heard about it yet is at least interesting on the timeline perspective. On that note, someone was asking earlier, we will have singles up on the website at some point in the not so distant future.
Pretty soon. They were sorting this morning.
Sorting and opening boxes and whatnot.
You've only got 2 blue whispers. That's how much you love this card.
And I bought more than 6.
They might be back here. Don't you have the weird pile?
Well, I have more than 6 of this in the very back of the back.
Yeah.
Which you'll see in a second.
Yellow Memorial Ground is probably one of the best reasons on earth to play Azalea at all.
I like it.
Honestly.
We like the stock.
It honestly is.
Yeah, you're into the Zach likes these cards.
Look at how many dead plunder runs there are. Not a single whisper.
I'll have to get. I have whispers around.
I'll put it in. I'll put it as like a plunder run or something. Okay, so I think we're kind of at the stack. So if we run.
Zyliz saying, I heard you were going to try to get James on an interview for the podcast.
Yeah.
Any updates on that? Yeah, we are expecting to have him on at some point.
It's gonna be a while before that happens, but it's currently planned to happen. Okay, so this is basically all the list. So let's bust this out. I might come back for Foresight. You have to run it, right? No, it doesn't block for 3.
It's the one that opts when you put it somewhere.
Opt 2 if you play it from Arsenal +3 your next attack. One cost.
What did I say it did?
Blocked for 3.
Oh, it just doesn't block for 3.
No, it blocks for 2.
Man, just right off my list.
No, it doesn't block for 3. Are you kidding me? If you put everything off your list that blocks for 2, you wouldn't have a deck.
I just wouldn't play Ranger.
I mean, at least Brute has 0 now. That's at least fair. They're just getting worse. So maybe if everybody gets worse, it'll all even out. Okay, so here's what we're thinking. Let's start with the non-attacks that can solve their own problems. Reload.
Fight blocks for 3. That's what I was thinking.
Yes, it does.
Nathaniel's saying, do Razors feel good in Azalea?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The problem with Razor is obviously reactive +3 can be good for the hit effects and if you have Dominate and all that kind of stuff. But the Go Again is usually not, in Azalea, I think, as relevant.
It's way harder.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to make use of that second action. I do think there's a Go Again pathway for her, though, that is different. And maybe it's just Lexi.
It is.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. But even Lexi would run Lightning Press probably over Razor.
Well, okay, so you have to have an honest question with yourself whenever you're deck building in this kind of a way. And you have to start the conversation by saying, why in the world would I ever run Azalea over Lexi? She can run literally all the same cards aside from 2, and they're notable cards, and she has a different ability.
Yeah.
So
and she doesn't have access to all the elemental cards.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lexi has all the cards that Azalea has, plus all the elemental cards.
The cards she's lacking are the most important cards. Run the Ledger. Incredible card. This is the reason to run Azalea. This is the whole point. The whole game is Run the Ledger. It's just it answers just about every hero. Every hero.
One action?
Play it as many times as you can.
Yeah.
First goal.
The only moment where it's not effectual is when someone has a very expensive attack. They're doing one thing and that's it. There's no pumps. There's no non-attacks to set it up. It's just one big old beefy attack.
One big old beefy attack.
Which is
right.
Even Bravo is not playing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
True.
Even old Bravo a lot of times it's like you need to do something first to even swing the hammer so you can pitch to do this thing. It's like get it surge and it swings for 6, right?
Bravo classic.
Yeah. Turns them into just swing for 3, or 4.
Now here's some of the fundamental math of lines. So we've got Run the Ledger and Knock. Great cards.
Knock is so good.
Knock's good. It has reload, and you go get whatever arrow you want. And you have the ability to filter through more cards than Lexi can on a given turn.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be able to move the top card of this as another card option in your hand, so you have more options in every hand, technically. But the problem that people run into is they spend so much inefficient card activity on opting that the efficiency you would even gain from that is already lost.
Yeah.
So that's where if I'm thinking about am I playing all 9 Ride the Glide Pass, it's like if I'm spending all my time playing undervalued cards that opt, then that value of opt is just at best breaking even. But I need the value of Azalea's ability to be pushing me ahead by getting me more consistent access to the tools that I need at any given time.
Yeah, the only case for it, even though I would run Whisper before I ran it, is the value is obviously +1 in opt. But if the situation arises where the opt actually means you're attacking instead of not attacking, it's worth a lot more.
Yeah, if it basically saves you from losing, which is what that is.
If you're on the 4 non-attack action hand, you probably have other pumps. So not attacking is actually not just missing the attack, it's missing all the pumps that you would potentially have had.
And you can't just block with it. Yeah. Because they're all 2s.
Right.
So it's just like, it's bad. But even the yellow, right? So, yes, it can take a non-turn and make it into an inefficient turn. But you can't win Flesh and Blood playing like that.
Yeah, and I think the main thing for me is like, you don't need a lot of it, right? And I think the
How
6
about the reds?
Is probably right. Yellow, I think, would be fine. Because you're getting 1 for 2. We're not in bad territory yet.
1 card for 2?
It's not bad.
It's not bad? And Briar's 1 card for 8. Constantly.
Dude, I mean, you have to pay for it. But I play... I play yellow...
to be fair, man, you've got to pay for the cards.
I play, yellow Bramble Spark. You have to fuse it to get the plus.
Yeah?
And then it's technically worth 3 at that point in the event that you have the fusion card.
Okay. That's right.
But I also...
Then you have the secondary value of the embodiment of lightning.
This is the problem.
Which is a bit of an issue.
Same, that's what I'm saying. Everything in my brain is so hard for me to look at your cards. And I recognize this because I was working with Bryce this weekend, on his Warrior build.
Mm-hmm.
And like...
Is he playing Dory, Dawnblade, or Axis?
He's pivoted to Axis.
He's back on... Dude, because Axis got Bugatti.
Yeah, so we...
So much fun now.
It was really cool. We played a lot of games in a row.
Oh,
and,
cool.
He was like... it was getting frustrating, I think. Because Dawnblade to me is like just a linear line.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know how that line works as the opponent, you can just...
You just stuff it.
Yeah. Beat it.
It's not always easy, and you don't always get the cards to do it, but basically it's a very binary situation.
Yeah, and there's so many ways to... Like when I literally was asking, like, show me your craziest turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really somber.
Dory doesn't have crazy turns.
But then, it's like, I honestly, like, getting these reps, I just don't think Dory Dawnblade. I could be wrong. I'm not a Dory expert. But, like, I don't suspect she even has the math.
Was he playing Slice and Dice?
I don't know.
+1 first, +3 the next one?
I don't remember.
Has an awesome art.
But he pivoted to Axis, and immediately was like, this feels way better.
Did it feel better playing against it as well?
He did. We swapped opponents at that point.
Oh.
So he went to play someone else. But it's little stuff like, anyways.
Axis has a lot more tricky in it. You can do weird things in Axis that Dawnblade just like, it's basically, is it going to hit or not?
Yeah, it's one thing.
The first time, is it going to hit or not?
With Axis,
Twinning Blade.
You have that classic, like, if you have Go again, right? You poke with the axe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, I'm not going to waste the card. You can get some damage too, right?
It's 2, right? It's just 2.
But then, like, you can do weird stuff on the second one. So, like, anyways. But all that to say, Dawnblade, I don't think has the math right now.
All right. You heard it here first.
I would love, if someone has a Dory list that is Dawnblade that they think is, like, actually jamming, I would love to see what that looks like.
I'm cutting this.
What is it?
Yellow, read the glide path.
Yeah. So, really what this stream is becoming is Steven plays all the Tales of Aria cards for the first time. I'm just kidding.
I'll be playing Fatigue Shot as well, okay?
Dude, you got Glide Path.
I might be playing Life of the Party.
You got Fatigue Shot. What else you got?
I think I'm gonna run that Battering Bolt too. I just want to look at it.
I only opened 2 copies so far.
I want to see how. 2 is probably too many actually. 0 is probably the right number there. Is this all the non-attacks we play? I feel like maybe we play Seek and Destroy. You also don't want to lose out on what are your compounding cards. This is a big thing that we need to talk about. This is
synergy.
One of the first in Ranger is Rain Razors, where we actually have a compounding effect that sticks across all the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be you would just have a card like Rapid Fire, which is bogus. Bogus. Okay, yeah, Poison the Tips as well. If we were playing modern Flesh and Blood, if these cards were reprinted, Rain Razors would be essentially Poison the Tips, plus all your arrows get +2. That's an actual Flesh and Blood card these days. But we parcel them out into 3 different cards, none of which really do everything you need them to do.
To be fair, though, Rain Razors is the modern technology for
It is. And it's instant speed, and the designers really like instant speed. But this has, with Lexi and Tri-Shot and stuff, this has the potential to be a card for 6, card for 8, card for 10.
Dude, we start talking 0 for 10, and I'm interested.
That's where it is going to be good. Now, is it going to do that in Azalea? No, it's never going to do that. You're going to get a card for 3,
which is
a card
important.
for 3, a card for 4, a card for 3.
That's important context, again.
Yeah.
You're notably picking Azalea.
That's right.
And you have to understand what your hero is doing uniquely and why it's good. I was playing Bryce, we swapped decks after a couple games. I was like, you just need to see what it's like to be on the other side of this. And I played Glinth Quicksilver, and he was like, "That's a unique thing that you can do, isn't it? Like in Warrior,
Yeah,
you can get go again at reaction speed,
and draw a card,
and maybe draw a card."
Ooh.
And it's like, because he's over there on Bravo, and it's like, what am I doing? I get one thing a turn? Like that's crazy. Anyways,
didn't expect that.
Azalea specific stuff.
Yeah, so Razor's probably not in the Azalea pile. Because if you look at the fundamental thing, you're really about finding one thing and doing it. Knock is about tutoring. Your entire ability is about opting,
dominate, pumping, etc.
So you should really be able to find the right attacks at the right times, in theory.
Hypothetically.
And so Rain Razors doesn't really play to that theme. If you've already got dominate, through Azalea's ability, which maybe you do if you get it going. Bolt and Shot I'm going to play.
I like it.
It's one of the only cards that actually is going to work out in a arrow heavy hand. It's like you can play this thing. This is one that you can actually put in Arsenal at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
And then you flip it up. Then you can play a pump out of your hand, shoot that Bolt and Shot, use Death Dealer reload, and here we
Because
are.
there's go again either way, and then it's hit reload.
Yes, even hits reload, which you don't even need really most of the time.
If it started in Arsenal, you haven't even used your bow yet.
That's right. So then if you pitch a blue, this is 0 cost. Put it so you have money for these turns. Very nice.
And you're only running the red.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to shoot a 0 for 3.
The blue would be more interesting to me if you need blues. I'm just thinking if you're going to end a turn with it in Arsenal, and you have pumps anyway, even just sending 2 as your first thing.
Have you ever done that?
Sent
in
2?
A game of Flesh and Blood, have you ever sent 2?
That's how Shiana works.
I don't think we need to compare ourselves to Shiana. You're trying to convince me to do. It's like, well, technically, it is the best way to do a bad thing. Technically, but it does have go again.
The thing is, it's a go again arrow that is also your blue that blocks your 3.
It's a blue block 3.
It's not the game plan.
Yeah. Let's look at our blues.
Yeah, that's the main question for me. I get on some weird cards in the blue slots because
the blue slots where it's at.
They usually just either block or pitch.
Yeah.
You're not planning to play it, but on the hand where you get two blues as an example, it is actually very playable if you get the free reload.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
I think you're that's a fair point.
I also think you'd run a lot of them if you're running the Rain Razors. Reality.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's probably 9 Bolt and Shots, and or no, you just run the Voltaire. You give all your arrows go again anyway every time you let them, twice per turn.
Let's go.
Get Dreadbore out of here. You'll life the party out of here. Okay, we're currently on 15 blues. I'd like to be on 18.
That's true. Shochi's saying in the 3 of a kind stack, you also Bolt and Shot it up.
Mm-hmm.
Reload gets really important in that because you can't play them from hand.
Yeah, and I mean, 3 of a kind is more relevant in this kind of a build because you can play, take aim, reload, and overflex. Play 3 of a kind. Play the overflex, reload another pump. Play the reload another pump. Play reload the arrow, and then that's the dream, right? Yeah. That's the dream.
But you play 3 of a kind, you get 3 arrows, or you play 3 of the kind because you don't have arrows, and then you just see the non-attack action. It's just a devastating card.
It can happen.
Yeah, that's why you got to run that red whisper.
What about Razor Reflex though?
Oh man, we're back.
I mean, I was really heavy on this card. I was like at a 9 of for a time.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you feel like Razor, the attack reactions specifically, are better when people aren't good at the game?
Yeah, I mean, I almost by definition, but if your entire deck is 1-cost attacks that have hit effects, and one of your biggest problems is you can't launch more than 1 arrow in a turn,
and you got Dominate,
it kind of is like, and you're on a blue curve where you can spend 3 a turn and a load shoot is 2. It's like,
I think the problem usually that you can run into is if you're going to dominate anyway, the reaction speed isn't that valuable.
it's not that valuable.
So if you have any 0-4 pumps, like not 0 for 4, but 0 for some amount of pump that has go again,
yeah,
you could have just played it up front without having to have the resource to do it.
correct.
Anyways,
But there's not a pump that gives the next arrow go again.
that's true.
Is the problem.
I
Unless
mean,
you play rapid fire and it pumps the arrow for 0.
I like the stock, man.
Plus 0. But this might be too many, because, like, you know, if you have a bunch of razor reflexes in hand, it's not going to do much for you, right? Let's get ahead of ourselves here. And we can also, I think we can get away with 15 blues, maybe 18 blues. 15 blues we can probably get away with.
Whew.
If we have a few yellows, because most of our turns are going to be load shoot for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fatigue shots in, for sure, right? Remorseless. Bolton.
This is why we're here.
Yeah. These are the good arrows. Let's put our 2 battering bolts in there just because, like, let's just shoot them and see what happens.
You know what? I like it. I like the Moxie.
Do we have any other good arrows?
What's Seek and Destroy all that?
I mean, it's tantalizing. I mean, it's good. You have to run that, right? You have to. I think I run that over Razor Reflex.
Absolutely. Dude, that's what I'm saying. 0 go again +3 with a crazy hit effect.
Crazy. You ever seen Command and Conquer? Show you crazy.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
But Seek and Destroy Red in the Ledger is probably one of the big reasons you should exist as Azalea. So
Super good.
We can be honest about that. So that's 5 times 3. That's 15. I think this is enough slice of non-attacks.
You used to run there it is, sleep dart.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
Yeah. I mean, it could be good.
Yeah, but it so rarely is.
A lot of heroes is not good against. Headshot's your basic 1 for 6. I mean, is that even? What is this card even? 1 for 6. You play one.
Are you a Command and Conquer?
Yeah, you gotta play Command and Conquer. I'm playing Flesh and Blood.
Is CNC in your Bolton deck?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, I need something to block Prism with. So if for no other reason,
it's going to be in the list. And some. That's why I like this too. This will be in the sideboard at least.
All right, let's go to our basic attacks. We're gonna go Ravenous. We're gonna go Enlightened Strike.
Donald's saying, how much of Bolton/Warriors rely on Welcome to Wraith? I only play casually, but started with Monarch. Bolton actually runs very little Welcome to Wraith, right? Because all the attack reactions?
Almost none.
Almost none of it.
Almost none. In fact, none.
He probably runs the equipment.
Let's see.
He runs the Brave Forge Bracers.
Yeah, but it's not critical.
If you're on Raiden, you also don't even need Courage of Bladehold.
Yeah, and you shouldn't play Sabers.
Yeah, not much.
Please don't. Although they got way better. Yeah, Raiden, Skullcap,
etc.
Lone Run stuff. Snappies. You need Snappies. Those are Welcome to Wraith.
But that's like a common.
Yeah, buy the snaps. And then the Tunic, you really need the Tunic. Sorry. Sorry, you just really, it opens up every turn.
It's not so bad anymore. What do you think the going rate?
Are you, just price-wise? Yeah, it's probably not bad. Critical card, like Steelblade Shunt is good. You probably want that in the sideboard. Plunder Run's dead now.
DED.
CNC is Arcane.
You know, it's like 120. It's not the crazy. That's actually crazy low compared to what it used to be.
I like some of the Sink Below reacts.
Yep.
Style, so you can run that, and then everything else is light cards. Yeah, it's cool.
That's one of the upsides of that system. We talked about it on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
And last week's stream. It's very divided, but also like that creates that exact moment. So new players getting in and mostly needs one set. It's cool.
Okay. Put those away.
Wild Wormhole, what is happening? That's a Keyforge flashback saying it's about 125 for the Tunic. I watch that price every day.
Nice.
Just because you're interested in it or like need it or, you know, I'm curious. You have like 30 of them you're speculating on? I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, so let's see where we are. How are we feeling on counts? I think we're low on resources here for sure. This is not good for resources. All right, what do we got?
You're like 3 to 5 cards over right now.
All right, so let's start cutting the cards we don't actually like.
Technically, if you do 4 rows of 5,
Are we doing? We're doing Bravo against Bravo. What do we not want against Bravo? How many action cards you run? You run a lot of action cards?
What are you talking about?
How many action cards you run? General action cards.
Almost all of them.
Right. So Battering Bolt's already out. Because that's all that it does. Any non-action cards are gone.
Let's see how many non.
This is a Prism sideboard card, I think, for sure.
You know what?
Tell me how many.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Pulses, I guess. Hit the pulses.
Awakening's instant.
This would be annoying if you're rolling pulses.
Not all the pulses are instants.
Right.
6, 7.
This may be the slowest counting I've ever encountered.
Well, I'm on 9.
Out of 80?
Out of 60.
9 of 60. 1 in 6. So every other hand will have 1 about? That's probably not enough value. I wouldn't say.
The problem is you just play them.
Yeah, right. Or block. You just block with them. Right?
Well, instant
Sometimes I
aren't
block with
known
them.
for their blocking.
Block with them. Do we need any other arrows? I don't want to play the "You Can't Dominate Me" arrow because it's not going to matter. I don't know that arrow ever actually mattered. Timidity Shot's a weird art on that card. Pretty cool.
I don't know what's happening in that art, and it makes me uncomfortable.
It does make you uncomfortable. I've seen that. I've seen you be uncomfortable with that before. We got Tri-Shot. We got Knock. I think Ridge, Headshot is fine. Our resources are not ideal here. I'm going to need 3 more blues or 3 more yellows. Could do yellow Headshot at 5. That's an acceptable shot. Or poison. No, I'm not going to do poison the tips. Come on.
I like the idea.
It's just like, it's a card that's just way, it's just like, but it doesn't.
Yes.
If you just hit once, you even out at least. You took a card, you spin a card. It's fine. And you got reload, so it has some tertiary value, and it can be a yellow. But it also can't do anything by itself, right? That's kind of the non-attack problem. This is already plenty, right? We're not in Runeblade. They don't have inherent value. Yeah. We have to read the card to find out if they're good.
Yeah. It's not just a card with Go again. It doesn't just have value.
Yeah. You like Blue Bolt and Shot. You still like Blue Bolt and Shot?
I mean, hypothetically, in a vacuum, yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm not a ranger. I don't even know how this works.
How many stacks have we got? 5?
4.
So this is
if you have 4 rows of 5.
$20 times 3, got it. 60.
Yeah. So,
Let's just run this.
You also only have 2 of something. The big
Whisper the Oracle and only Memorial Ground. So I've got.
Do you need more copies of stuff?
I can proxy. I'll just proxy with a plunder.
What happened to your big old arrow?
It's gone, man. Yeah, it's gone. You only have 9 actions.
Deuces Magooses.
Yeah, right. Deuces Magooses, indeed.
Can you hand that big arrow to me?
Tri-Shot is a 3-block blue that you might play. In Azalea, that is like a dream come true. We're not Guardian, where all the cards are like that. What is it?
You're good. That's
Put Bolton on even. So what have we done? We've cut Nimblers, and we've gone a lot more into arrows than I like to go.
What have we done?
What have we done? What new cards have we added? We got Tri-Shot as a 0/3 blue that you can run with Purge Grapplers, which I will need. I shelved them a long time ago. That Purge Grappler Tri-Shot turn is going to blow your mind. It might be Cold Foil. Do you have your Cold Foil?
I don't have a Cold Foil Purge Grappler.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We
don't even have one.
That might be in my short stack.
Your random equipment stack?
Let me find it.
Palpster on the Endless Arrows. You and Alex are similar. It's just, again, it's so much better in a bow that you can load twice. It's crazy. I will do the 1 Endless Arrow for Alex Becker.
Oh, no. Would it be Alexi?
I hope not. Maybe. I mean, maybe, but not an actual one. Not one that was pulled from the internet.
I have no idea, man.
I'm gonna put one in this arrow in. This is my tribute always to Alex.
Did we put it in a case?
Yeah, we may have. We honestly may have. Now, against you, so new Bravo, our problem's going to be the 4 damage hammer swing, right? So we may actually have to run take cover and sink.
The old D-Rex.
To do it. You got to do a 1-for-1 trade on that hammer, I think. I don't really know.
The first time I just swung a hammer at Bryce, he was like, oh.
Yeah, this is hard.
You can do that.
This is hard to
block.
block.
It's like an ice token. Like, oh no.
How often do you think you're going to trigger your hero ability?
Bravo?
Yeah.
Once every 4 turns.
So sleep dart's not exactly high priority.
I didn't think you were asking because it was a loaded question. I just thought you were curious. Like that it was relevant to what you were doing, you know?
I don't even know if it's worth running Command and Conquer against you. It may just be a Prism card at this point.
Well, I have Crown of Seeds. You do not run with Command and Conquer. You play it and I pay 1 and then it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. And then I pay 1 to block with a shield 2. I take 4 from Command and Conquer and I have a that Crown is crazy town. Just crazy. I started playing with it. I was just like, what in the world is this?
Okay, so we're gonna live dangerously here. Let's start. You know what? Let's just start with the basics. Let's start with a clean 25% of the deck across these different vectors.
All right. I mean, we'll play it and see.
Let's play it and see. We haven't played Flesh and Blood in a long time.
Yeah.
Like this kind of Flesh and Blood, like where you can change your deck afterwards.
It's been a while.
You know what I found? Like when I was doing the 15 blues, actually 12 blues, I was like, I have a blue a lot, actually.
Should be probably 70% of your hands.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Is First Grab's not in that binder?
It's not, dude. I don't even, there's nothing in here. It's gone. It wasn't a case, though. I'm pretty sure it was in a case.
It was in a case. It's in my house.
I'm pretty sure.
Or it's in a deck box that you have.
Yeah. It's not. I'm empty.
All right.
Bolton's the only thing I've got.
I'll look at home. We can put some fake boots on you.
Here, we'll put 1 blue Bolton shot and just see how it feels.
Chris saying, does anyone ever run 2 hammers, no shield? I think there's a potential case to be made against Prism if you are also leaning into the get multiple actions realities. But a lot of times I think it's just better to run 0 cost go against stuff.
Oof. What is this? Ooh, that's my Lord of the Rings TCG deck. That thing's awesome. Can't wait to play that puppy.
Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, we started the series and then had to bail on it.
Just gone.
Let's see, you think there's 60, that's 60 sleeves, right?
Maybe. It looks definitely.
60 sleeve challenge. Like how many M&Ms are in the...
That's it. That's probably at least 85 sleeves. Right to guess.
Do you want to feel what it's like to sleeve things like you're like 5 again?
Yeah, here I am.
Feel those.
Ryan Over says he thinks you need Art of War.
You know what? I also once thought I needed Art of War. I really did, and I may still, and it's enticing to play.
It's so much better in the wide decks though, right?
Well, everything is.
It's because going wide should be harder.
Everything is better in everything else. It's better in chain.
It's like, why am I playing Azalea? I don't know. Masochist.
I had Art of War in for a lot of the testing that I did with Azalea, and I eventually cut it. Now this was before Aelia and the other one, Everfest.
The other one that just came out.
I mean, it is good in a blue curve, particularly. These are all the reasons I've already run through this.
But the problem is that you have to have a bonus attack around, right? That's always the...
You do have to, yeah. But, you know, if you have... This is why we always like to run it. Art of War in a 3-arrow hand. I would prefer that. You know? We're just going to try to keep it simple.
All right. Let's just start here and see how we feel.
Everything can block, except for Moil Ground.
I'm excited to play Bravo against this. It's going to be a wild time. Just pour gasoline on your rage.
We're coming up on 84 years of Steven trying to make Azalea work and groaning about it. It's a big part of the process. I'm going to make this camera go to competitive mode. All right, we're going to go on a journey.
I'm going to keep sleeping.
If you're prone to get dizzy,
look away.
Or if you don't want to see how the sausage is made in the studio, look away.
Everyone wants to see how the sausage is made. No one, at least subconsciously.
Just a freaking boiler room, man. It's so tiny.
Yeah.
I'm just going to open this for Vince. It's so tiny. I don't think people know how small it is. Don't worry, also, my balance is fine. I go right up to the rafter, and then I grab it so that I can't fall.
George wants to know, how is Art of War better than Rain Razors?
Oh, it does different things.
So Art of War...
You never choose the +2. Or the +1 to all your attacks.
Yeah. Art of War is there to pitch a blue, banish an attack, draw 2 new cards, still have 2 resources floating. And one of those resources can be for your arrow or your bow that lets you load and draw. So then you get another card off of that without having to spend more cards. So it prevents you from having turns where you just don't get to attack. It can also give you a free go again, which is probably what you actually do with it.
That's most of the time the case, yes.
But, you know, I'm not a scientist.
That's right.
Ryan Roper saying you do choose the +1 when you're playing Bolt and Shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Makes those Bolt and Shots go round. Know what I mean?
You do choose the +1 when you're playing Bolt and Shot, yes.
These sleeves do remind me of being a child.
Yeah.
These cards are sliding right in there.
One of these days, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get 2 cameras in the new studio.
Never have to do it again.
Yeah.
Also get the setup where we have multiple cameras pointing at us, so we don't just have this one shot. Just a million cameras. We get all those cameras, enough cameras where you can do like VR. You seen those things? That's crazy.
VR?
Like someone could feel like they were sitting at the table with us because they're just so, like you're filming every point of a perspective.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
It's like 1,000 cameras all at once.
Because if 1,000 cameras.
Here's your bread stack.
Thanks.
So that was 60. $89 sleeves. That's how many that was.
Nailed it.
I still got it.
Hey, put something somewhere. Let's see if we got enough room. We got enough room to play there? You just busting out your gold skull cap.
It's the first thing I could
Hey,
grab.
put something out there. Oh, this is my gold skull cap
What's
that I want for
this?
being good at this game.
This looks
This whole
really
thing.
small of a play space. Let me show you. Just what we're preparing for.
Okay, I'll give you more.
That is better.
Let me bring this out a little bit.
That'll do.
I don't know why this is so hard sometimes to do. Probably because it's built to not change a lot. You know, like how you would actually want it to be.
Wasn't that the prompt of that thing though?
Oh, Zach.
That's a low-key marketing Jonathan dig, I think. I don't know who is responsible or where any of that is. I just know.
Let me see, look, at this new mat, we can center it up a lot easier. And then
Michael asking if the Bravo has the extended art back of the card. It does. It's amazing.
yeah, good.
It's about to be light out there in the boiler room. I can't wait for 3.0. Air conditioning in the studio. I hope.
Yeah, you never know, right? You can start with one idea, and where you end, you never know.
Yeah, it's like, well, do you want to cut this awesome feature that everyone else is going to use every day, or do you want air conditioning? I guess I'll suffer.
Okay.
It's the tagline of my book.
I guess I'll suffer. A memoir. Oh, I gotta play all these games all day.
You cool if I just play with this full art side face up? You know what I mean? Great.
Are you playing with that? You're not playing with that.
Playing with what?
The cap.
The gold cap?
Yeah.
No. Worth noting, I have my Noir command and Q conqueus. I also have one proxy. You'll see it. It looks like this.
That's card back.
It's the Fabled from the new set. I'll explain.
Your proxy on it? You didn't pull it?
No. You can't pull them every time. You know what I mean?
It's kind of a bummer, though, yeah?
Yeah. I have one on the way, though. My friend of the show, Chaos Theory.
eBay? Really?
Opened one in like one of his 1 or 2 boxes. And we worked out a little trade.
A trade, or did you sell?
It was a trade.
I
had a
pay him enough money that he could keep buying boxes from us? That would have been the real CEO play right there.
What happened is there was a lot of stuff that he wanted that he doesn't have because he's more new to the game. So a lot of older stuff that I had that was available for trade, and also like I pulled a beautiful non-foil skull cap. That.
Do you hear the commentary about that?
Dull cap?
Yeah.
What about
It's
it?
all the rage. I mean, there's like a whole. You shouldn't call it that, you know. It's like a community thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because it like is like speaking down to the lack of shininess.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, but apparently Evercap is the preferred nomenclature now.
Let me get my Ever hat.
Okay. Is the card pop we use a custom setup? That's from Jacob Neatling. Yes, it is.
Skullfest.
What is her listen to the podcast with you and Tim, apparently?
I could be one.
One of the 3 listeners.
Well, I also do one with Daniel. That's a different one. I don't know which one he's talking about.
You doing with Daniel too?
Yeah.
What are you doing creating content outside of the confines of work? Why in the world would you ever do that?
Well, I've been trying to get Daniel to start a podcast for like a decade. Not for me.
Is it like a religious?
Yeah.
I know we mentioned the Old Testament.
He's got a PhD in theology, and he's like just approachable and smart and knows a bunch, and like doesn't make you feel unintelligent when you're dialoguing with him.
Even though clearly
he's way smarter. Not even a question.
You do one with your brother John as well. You could have the Bun Brothers podcast quadruplet. You could have your whole network, the Bun Network.
It's a sandwich, or the hamburger, whatever.
That's so funny.
Obsidian, you can just go to my Twitter.
All right, this is going to be Perch Grapplers. I never thought I'd have to proxy Perch Grapplers because I could probably literally go buy them for 3 cents in the other room.
What do you think the market price is?
Of Perches?
It's like Zach's market updates.
$6? I don't know.
I wish they were called Perch Grabblers.
I'd trade them for like a bowl of hot and sour.
$25.
$25.
Hey, that's real value.
That's all. That's more than I was expecting. I bet the value's gone up a Tri-Shot. These sleeves even smell old. They smell like stories.
Wild Wormhole is on it. Are you like plugged into the network?
Man, maybe Keyforge getting their algorithm stolen is the best thing for Flesh and Blood. At least one conversion.
That's sure. Right.
How about that? Isn't that something? That's really something.
Philo Dre? Is this the Bravo deck you're talking about? Twitter? This is. Yeah, we'll see. You ready to party?
Oh, yeah, sure. This is going to be a slaughter.
Tokens and boards and stuff. It's been a minute. I see him over there.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. People understand surely at this point that the degree to which you complain as a Ranger player helps you.
Yeah, of course.
The more you complain, the more you do well. I'm going to give you...
It's that salt that fuels the bow.
3. That's right. This bow's powered on salt. But I do so in great jest.
And lovingly.
And lovingly. It kind of like, you know, how you would jab at a friend. who never does anything for you.
It's just a class.
And is constantly letting you down.
Dante, did I see Dante's name somewhere? No, he got tagged.
Dante's in the chat?
Dante Del Frisco. $25 purge grapplers are the reason I don't play Azalea. It's just because they're bad?
Del Frisco's the greatest thing that's happened in Flesh and Blood history, honestly.
I love that name.
Dante Del Frisco. Tabletop Royale, that's great. Literally sweating about the 20 boxes upstairs waiting to be opened. Dante, hey, listen. Only you can maybe you can be the Azalea unlocker. You're good at this game, right?
George saying Dante Del Fico, casual budget player, marginalized by expensive majestic equipment. Just too rich for my blood.
Did he ever sell the stuff he was selling?
He's still trying, I think.
Kind of missed the boat on that one, didn't he?
It's very
sad.
Guy ready to. We were talking about that this morning, actually. He had a guy ready to buy the gold foil Mask Momentum.
Yeah.
Beautiful card.
Incredible.
For lots of money. And then he didn't have it with him in Las Vegas, so they were going to meet up in Dallas. And when he was there in Dallas, the guy was like, some guy that wanted it in Vegas sold it to me for much cheaper. So he had it like nicely packed and brought it and stuff, and then just didn't get to sell it. If you're looking for a lot of cold golds,
call up Dante. He's
look
selling
up
them
Dante
cheap
Del
these
Frisco.
days.
Yeah. The Hoffman wants to know if the Skullbone cross wraps on purpose. I can't tell if it was a joke or not, but I love it.
Excuse me. I'm bringing Arcane Barrier 2 normally. I don't even need to change my game.
Matt, won't someone please think of the Canadian exchange rate? Never thought about it till just now.
All right. How many do we draw? 4?
Yeah. Evens odds. Even Steven.
That's right.
You get choice.
Okay.
You get choice. You want first or second?
I don't get to see this first, do I?
No.
What am I supposed to do? I got dominate, right? I'll go first. That's got to be wrong. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? First or second?
Dante Del Fico says, Steven, I have a gold foil Skullbone cross wrap with your name on it, buddy.
Does he really?
He does, yeah.
I would actually... 100? I mean, nobody wants it. Nobody's going to ever want that card, so you may as well get something.
You could probably trade him for free marketing on this stream for his other items. Be like, hey, if you give us the gold, we'll talk about your other ones for sale.
I thought you meant for his personal brand.
No.
What did I say I was doing? Can I go second?
Dante Del Frisco does not need branding help.
Let me tell you something.
He needs awareness of his cold golds that are for sale.
Let me tell you something, buddy.
Ice Cobra. Azalea is so bad she doesn't even show up on stream. She's not here.
Oh, right. Where is she?
She's in the binder, dude.
In the bow, too.
You're playing Zen Ranger.
I don't have the bow either. It's in the thing.
That's in the cold foil
It's in your
stack.
cases, yeah. But you don't need it.
No, I got you.
You actually have it.
Yeah.
Well, where are the purchase?
I don't know. This is the problem. You said you want Dreadbore, right? Redliner? No, not that one. There it is, Death Dealer.
Oh, I missed this, though. This is fun. Maybe that makes it okay, right?
All right. You said you're going first?
That's right, I did.
All right, let's party.
How about this?
Picture this.
Let's play a take aim. Reload here.
He's going for it.
+3.
You gotta try to Azalea and dominate.
Let's cross trap. Show you a Bolton shot here.
Ooh, come on now. We're back. Hold on. And this is when you take the action to ask your opponent to reload your tunic.
Yeah, thank you. Take an action, reload my tunic. You may as well take a crack at this, right?
Simon's Fenton saying Dreadbore is legit.
You may as well take a crack at this.
I post some Azalea list links over in the Discord. George saying, ooh, look at those fancy tokens. Also available on our website, teamcover.com/tokens.
I'm going to go into this next turn potentially having none arsenal. I think that's wrong.
That's a good opening, right? Bolton Shot and Arsenal is a good place to start, though, right?
Yeah, it's a good place to start. It's just none of these are arrows currently, and this isn't either.
But are they pumps?
Well, yeah. No, these aren't.
Gotcha.
No.
I was gonna say next round.
Somehow, yeah.
Pump, bolt and shot.
No,
but
you can't do that. No.
You're good. It's Matt saying top level is other gameplay. Yeah, you can figure that. I believe in you.
Listen, I'm just gonna get. I mean, you don't win playing. There's nothing.
Oh, you're going YOLO, eh?
I'm bolt and shot for 7.
Let's go.
If it hits, I will reload.
Yeah.
Does that go again?
Let's pitch 1. Throw the shield in there. And block for 6. Block 7.
Great. That's cool. I'll go to the end phase.
Yep.
What is that? I made fun of Brennan and them for the other day.
Existing?
They started doing the proceed to end phase or whatever.
Oh, instead of Arsenal Pass?
Yeah, I sound like a bunch of weirdos.
Man, you just love to see it, don't you? Come on now. Command and Conquer for 6.
That's fine.
Easy mode.
Right? So what does that say? I can't play defense reactions anywhere or Arsenal? I can't remember.
Floating Skull says teamcounter.com/tokens does not go anywhere. I don't know what the link is, honestly. You just go to teamcounter.com and there's a drop down for the component.
You seriously just played TNC. I had 2 defense reactions in my hand. One of them is here now.
What am I supposed to do? Not play that card?
I guess.
It's the no-R version. Aaron says, do y'all think the ever cap will go back above 100? I have no idea what the market's going to do. We're in a weird place. We don't know if Unlimited's coming and when it's coming. I think, as an example, I opened 2 in my stuff, and I literally already own 2. So I'm looking to trade them. I'm looking to sell them. I think that card is going to be really helpful to get that price down and on the market. Tabletop Royale. Imagine not having 100% foiled CNCs, right? Can you imagine the hype level on Everfest if CNC had been printed in that thing?
This timing is so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I hate you for this.
Oh.
I'm not blocking with red in the ledger. I can't block with this take cover. I can't block with this take cover. The other ones are 2s. So,
How do you just take 6 and lose a take cover?
Take 6, lose a take cover.
Tabletop Royale saying they opened 2 of the skull caps from this set. It was so easy.
Sure, let's take 6. Let's take
yeah. It's just damage, man. It's another resource.
Just damage, yeah. This is a resource. Look at you, they wasted a card there like a fool.
Someone said save the card. I disagree. Floating Skull saying Steven's already lost the game.
Yeah, it's already over. Yeah, no. In competitive Flesh and Blood, it does kind of get that crazy. How about this though? Look at that. That red in the ledger there. You scared of that one?
I'm terrified. Mortified.
What's crazy is if this were Shiver, it could just have Dominate, right? But you can't play that bow. It's an elemental bow.
You can't play that bow with that card.
It's an elemental bow. How much armor you've got? You got 2, so 2 out of hand and an armor piece.
Behind saying, do you mind if we ask strategy questions? I'm still new in learning the game. Definitely ask strategy questions. Chat is great. They'll interact with you as well. We're happy to explain what we're doing and talk. And then our Discord channel is another great place to go. Phenomenal community of people that are happy to answer questions and interact.
So you can destroy red in the ledger. 8 coming at you.
Jordan Hightower. Just opened a shield last night for my TC boxes. My first cold foil legendary.
Yeehaw.
All right, it's coming at me for 8. Mm-hmm. And if it hits one
action, then you'll lose all your cards and arsenals.
Ooh, seek and destroy, eh?
If I were you, I'd block with 2 and a 2-piece armor.
No dominate? No. I'm gonna do you one better.
You can't get dominate if they blow up your arsenal.
Yeah, well, 2 more CNCs coming down the pipe. All right, first things first. Let's use my Crown of Seeds. I'm going to turn it to show that it's floating damage prevention. Arsenal card goes on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to draw a card.
Go to 5. Yeah.
All right. And this is coming for 8. You have 1 card in hand, 1 floating resource.
Oh, no, I do have 1 extra card.
Does that change?
I'm going to put it into the thing. Yeah, +4. So 12 coming at you. It's kind of the whole point of Death Dealer. Yeah.
I read you. Okay, 1 prevention. 12, you said. We're going to pay 1, throw the shield in there. 2, and then what am I...
See, that was Stalagmite. That'd be devastating.
What?
Devastating, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. That'd be frosty.
Well, then it would go away at the end of your turn.
Right. I can see why that's not great.
It's only, you need it against Go-Again things, and it needs to be you want to block something early, but usually early against Go-Again things is not the thing they're wanting to try to get through, so it's an interesting equation. Now, let me think.
She doesn't, I remember playing Azalea now, like you don't actually get dominate that much.
We're going to block there. So I'm blocking for 3 with a shield and a 1 prevention floating.
Okay.
So I take 7.
Pass. Arsenal. I'll leave this here so you can look at it.
What is it?
Remember, you only get 1 action.
Okay, great. All right, mine.
Yeah.
We're just going to play an unfused Oak and Old for 7.
Okay.
Now, in a tournament, that red and ledger goes straight to the discard pile under every other card, and you pray to the maker that they do something like basic little action first, and then you're like, okay, great. Hold on. The next time they go to play a card.
That's exactly how that goes, yeah. No hit effects?
No hit effects, no.
No hit effects. I have 3 overflexes in my hand right now. It's hilarious to me.
That is overflexing.
I'm gonna block with. I'm gonna block with 2.
That muscle's gonna rip.
And then I'm gonna take cover.
Yeah.
Go to 6, and then I'm gonna reload here.
Okay. Take 1.
Take 1. Yeah.
Arsenal pass.
Tunic up. Let's cross wrap. Show you a red Enlightened Strike. See something there. I'm going to leave that. Another great question coming into the party. Okay. So what you're telling me, yeah, I think I do it like this. It's so much more fun to play than these warrior decks I've been playing. It's so much more fun.
That's what we're here for, right? Philo was saying, don't you get a
fun.
seismic surge from drawing with seeds from the chest? You don't, because Earthward Bounty says only action cards. So Crown of Seeds is not an action card. It's a piece of equipment. Oh yeah, you had Seek and Destroy out.
That's right. See
So
Arsenal.
That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Is interesting.
Yeah, look at you. Play mistake. See, this is where I wrote that down in my little book when I was playing the game at Vegas, and then people were like, yeah, you can't do that. It's like, well, how are we going to reference the fact that these things are here for on your turn, you know?
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. All right, this is easy.
And then where is that? I think hi, I'm saying, how do we participate in the league? So you sign up. We're going to be charging soon for the next league, I think. No, it's like a couple weeks away still. So you can sign up now and start participating in the first Tuesday of March. But you can always join us on Tuesday nights and hang out and watch games and or find an opponent and play, even if you're not officially a part of the league. But then you can sign up and participate if you want.
All right. I think this will be fine. Let's Azalea in our friend Mr. Remorseless. It is going to have Dominate. And then let's play a red Overflex, pitch here for 1, And then Remorseless. So we have 9 Dominate coming at you.
1 action? No. 1 damage every time I take an action.
That's right. Lose a life every time you take an action.
I'll take 9.
Tech 9. One of the great...
It's a shame I don't have an Arsenal card here.
Great hip-hop acts.
Then at the end of your turn,
It
after
feels
that
bad
happens,
to end without an arsenal. You got to do so much. You got to get that arsenal.
I'm going to play Awakening as an instant. I guess
Okay.
I should have blocked 1 for the shield. I'm going to fuse it with Pulse. So I'm going to search my deck. Or first off, I currently have 9 less health than you. So I'm going to get 18 Surge tokens. And then I search my deck for a card that costs that much or less. A Guardian attack.
That costs 18 or less.
Yeah. Yeah, you can imagine what I'm doing. Crippling Crush. Let's put that in my hand. Okay. Thanks for playing. Then this goes to the discard pile. This goes under. And then it's my turn. These pop.
To just cripple.
We're going to play Crippling Crush for free. 11 coming at you.
Okay, right.
Cool.
And 7 is the magic number here, yeah? Can you believe... I've been playing with armor again. That may be the singular most important thing.
Armor and 3 blocks. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a monumental hoist to block this.
Yeah. It's basically your whole hand.
Yeah.
Because once you block with 2 cards, you may as well be all in.
Well, sure.
Hey, I take 1.
That's right. Is the Awakening an instant? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an instant.
Does it say action cards only?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so you really got to block this for 9, right?
What up, Barack? Saying, hey, all. Wow, I finally get to watch one of these live. David saying, sup, Zach? Sup, Steven? What's going on, David?
Up? You know what? Fine.
George, Awakening's drunk.
Fine. I got to block with this Knock the Death Whistle.
Yeah.
That's what you've done. That's what you've done here.
See what you've done, you little jerk.
Is 6 damage more important than 4 damage for you? 2 cards versus I mean that's a question. No, because then you get the arsenal. Yeah, I'll block with 9.
Okay.
These cards that I like.
Take 2.
Yeah.
Arsenal pass.
Look at this. So far ahead. Tunic. Death Dealer. Load Bolt and Shot. Draw. Bolt and Shot for 4. No pumps, no reload, no go again.
Let's pay 1 for Crown of Seeds. This goes under. Draw a card.
How many cards you got in your hand? 4?
Mm-hmm.
You just pitch a Crippling Crush?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It's a word.
Who's laughing now?
It's a word.
I like these new Bravo decks that aren't as good. I put those D-Rex, you haven't even touched the hammer.
I haven't seen any ice cards. Ha! Which is weird.
We got him. What's up, Morris C. Awesome. Good day, boys. Love the content showing support from Sydney, Australia. Keep the Flesh and Blood videos coming. Very educational. Great. Thank you. It's educational in ways that other Fab videos aren't, in that we're going to show you a lot of ways that it goes wrong and a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. Look at how troubling this is for you.
I'll just take it.
The deck is functioning beautifully. You take 3?
4, right?
You use the crown.
Oh, that's right. 3. See? Pro.
It's the responsibility of both players to maintain the board state, okay?
All right, then. I asking how I used Awakening's ability to create Surge and use them on the same turn.
It was the end of my turn.
So it's an instant. On his turn, I play it, and then it pops at the start of my turn. Brock's saying, did you read this? Huge fan of the Covenant Cast. You guys got me into Ashes after starting Fab mid-pandemic. All right, over to me.
Sure.
I'm just going to play Crippling Crush.
With all the money?
Yeah, you can see why I had to pitch Crippling Crush.
All the moolah? This game's not easy.
You're up by 11. You feel pretty good.
Oh, yeah, sure. I feel great.
I like the stock.
Crippling Crush is a problem. That's your second one?
Yeah, you saw me pitch one.
Weather the storm here. I just want to put the grapplers into it, to be honest with you, but I'm supposed to hold them for Tri-Shot.
Little this, little that.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, then. It's why we're here. He definitely asks questions. Little stuff like that is important.
Oh, but I so want to waste these boots right now. Oh, they're so tempting. They're so tempting.
Crush your shoes right off.
And you've got no arsenal going to the next round?
That's right.
Ooh, you got to take advantage of that. You got to take advantage of that, man. It's important. I'm using the boots. 6 + 2 for the perch. 8 to 11.
Take 3. Call me in the morning.
I haven't seen the Tri-Shot happen yet, so like, I'm just gonna be bad at it. Tunic up. Cross route. All right, Zach, we got questions. We need to do some quick math here. So we do 11, 9. Yeah, we're doing this turn. You're at 20. I mean, this is not terrible. You got no arsenal. Hit the gas a little bit here.
Brock, I've been having a lot of fun with Bravo. Tons of fun.
The money is kind of the problem here.
Pay him.
This is acceptable. This is acceptable. Ravenous Travel for 4.
Someone's saying your ops, you should have a flipped card in Arsenal or something.
Oh yeah. You can see this Bolton shot.
Okay. All right, coming in for
it's red.
4.
Yeah.
All right. First thing I'm gonna do is play a.
Oh my gosh.
Blizzard.
And then I'm gonna Crown of Seeds, and then I'm gonna.
I can't Crown of Seeds
shield.
actually.
Okay, that's right.
But you'd have to pay 2 or it loses go and it can't gain it.
Sure. It can lose.
Block 3.
You got it.
Take 1.
That's right. Hey, Blizzard. A blizzard has come over the battlefield.
We did it. All right, I'm going to pitch an ice card to swing with a hammer for 4.
All right. No defense, react for 4.
You got it. Arsenal pass.
Tunic. Take aim. Full shot with go again for 7. Unless there's another blizzard. The snows are heavy.
You have how many cards in hand?
2. You can't see an arrow in the snow.
Alright. Reload probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, Jim, Dreadbore's interesting. I mean, there's use cases for it for sure. The defense reaction is never going to matter in a great number of matches. That text isn't going to matter. Azalea having access to +1 is fine. And you can use it technically with New Horizons, which is fine. Please let me know if you would ever play a defense reaction from hand so that I can know if I should be playing Dreadbore.
Hasn't happened yet.
It sure hasn't. What's up, Trevor Young?
Man.
First time catching you guys live. Got into Fab back in September. Been following ever since. Love the genuine back and forth you guys bring, and I'm excited for even more in the future. So we're good at faking a genuine back and forth.
I know, I hate being here. Oh, man.
Yeah, look. It's just damage, man. It's just numbers. Yeah. Tell us the resource. Take 7.
Well,
Let's go.
I'm low on that resource.
Let's go. Take 7.
You know what
Come
I mean?
on. Morris asking will be I think you're booked for New Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't decide if I want to drive or pay that much to like lose.
If it was sealed, you'd probably be more
If
interested.
it was sealed, if there's a sealed like big at least secondary event, I would consider it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just build me I just need something that I enjoy playing to be good right before everybody knows it's good. So in the next 5 years, that'll happen maybe once, and then I'll be really excited. I might take Bolton. I think Bolton's great. I might also take Dory. Everybody's hot for Dory right now, but that won't last.
Oh my god. I will not block. I'm just gonna take 7.
Ooh.
I want to get out of this game so we can try again.
And I've got a weird question here on the reload or not. I don't think I actually reload here. As much as I really do want to use that. But I'd rather have the arsenal. So Death Dealer in a headshot.
Okay.
Pitch. 1 floats. Draw for Death Dealer. And then headshot for 6.
Alright. Just damage.
Just damage. Yeah, so I'm a Bolton shot with Dreadbore is the whole reason to do it. But unfortunately, I don't think 4 go again, or 3 go again, or 2 go again is enough.
No
5,
hit
4,
effect.
3. No hit effect, just 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's block for 4. Take 2.
All right. Got you on a weird hand there.
Yeah.
We go to the Arsenal phase.
I found all my ice cards.
Arsenal.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Don't I?
Okay. I'm just going to play a Okanold, and I'm going to fuse it.
With the pulse, so I need to track that pulse. Huh?
It's going to be a 9 with Dominate. And if it hits 2 cards at random, we're going to go to the bottom of your deck in the order of your choice.
2 randoms.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's Dominate?
Yeah.
That's actually an incredible question. Huh.
Philo Battle Hardened is what used to be the ProQuest. So it's the Sunday event at like Collins and stuff. And the ProQuests are now store level events where you qualify for the upcoming Pro Tour.
If it hits at all, this is going to happen?
1 damage and you get it, yeah. This is the Okanold magic I was telling you about. You're up 18. I mean, you're feeling pretty good.
No, you never feel good as Azalea. I assure you. Never feel good.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a 0 damage turn yet, so I am feeling better on that front, at least. Yeah. I'm thinking if I play a card, yeah, all of these are acceptable. So I'm going to go ahead and just sink to prevent some damage.
Okay, take 5.
Take 5. And 2 randos go to the bottom.
Yeah. We're going to pick 2 random, but you get to choose the order in which they go to the bottom.
Thank goodness. We're definitely getting to the bottom of that deck.
I'm sure. Arsenal pass.
I ran actually a attack reaction heavy Azalea at Vegas, And the
keep
problem
this
is, it's very easy to draw all of them at once.
You can choose the order those go to the bottom.
Let's do them like this. You ready for some action? Spring Tunic.
Tunic up, man. Let's go.
Tunic up. Crunch Trap Supreme. Sharon Enlightened Strike. So enlightened.
Hey now.
All right, I got to think about this. I keep this card up here. I keep it up here. How many CNCs do you run? All of them?
3.
Are you going to play one?
Maybe.
What are you at, 10?
You're up by 13. Don't create the most devastating stream comeback of your existence here today. He was this close.
I'm playing this.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to choose go again. It's going to go to the bottom. The question here is, do I want this card that I'm about to draw in the arsenal, which I do, or do I want to do 7 damage instead of 5? With you at 10, 7 is kind of compelling. You still haven't used any armor, so you're effectively up 20 health still.
I've just got 4, 5, 6 armor. So you really have a 7-point lead.
I can't believe you can just have that many hit points starting on the board. So a card and an armor piece. You have a 4-card hand. What do I gain? Let's be smart. Let's draw.
Do you remember the card I fused with?
Oh, of course, the pulse.
You know what it does?
No, what does it do?
It's a 2-cost, 6 block defense reaction.
Yeah.
It was the only card I had left in my hand last round.
Yeah, so you play it, I mean.
It's here. So if you're going to 7, just as a reality.
It doesn't really matter that much, does it?
Yeah, the card is probably going to be worth more in the end.
Yeah, we'll take the... I think you always take the card anyway, right? I mean, it's just kind of Flesh and Blood fundies. Taking the card, you need to have 5 to deal with.
Okay, let me think about this. So I did this.
Who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna... Cards from Everfest that have stood out the most when playing. Any clear surprises? I haven't had a chance to play hardly at all.
Bigger than that is a crazy card.
I was looking at that in Ranger.
But
it's just another conditional pile.
It's you have to be able to do damage first, right?
Yeah.
So like Ninja as an example is amazing. You Kodachi for 1. If no one wants to block that first one, take 1, and then you play it. You get opt, and then you usually get a free card in hand.
Oh my gosh, it's so good in Ninja. It makes it unplayable anywhere else. Golly, it's just
every
like Briar.
Every time Tim was playing this weekend, he's just like, "This card is so good."
That single-handedly might bring Ninja to the forefront.
Yeah. And they got other good stuff too. It's crazy.
Like that wind thing. Yeah, Jim, watch out for attack actions from Arsenal.
All right.
That's the whole...
First thing I'm going to do...
That's the whole thing.
Trigger the crown. That defense reaction is gone.
Oh my gosh.
Draw a card.
Can we get a little fab robot that does all these guardian things?
Blizzard. Resources, I'm going to play Awakening. I'm going to fuse it for no particular reason. But I'm going to gain 26 Surge tokens. Hold on.
One day there will be a 26 cost attack.
All right, let me go again. Let's see what I want to do.
Is it your 3rd Crippling Crush?
Yeah, if I use
That's
it.
annoying. What else would you do?
There's all sorts of stuff I can do.
What's better than Crippling Crush?
Righteous Cleansing can be pretty good. Oak
Can't
and
be
Old's
better.
pretty good.
Can't be better though, right?
Oak and Old has a built-in Dominate.
Yeah, that is better probably.
But it's really a matter of if I can also fuse it, because I play it blocking.
That's true. Too true, too true.
I'm going to go ahead and get Crippling. I'll come back to that in a second. I'm still in the blocking window. Got a 1.
Even Guardian's playing like Kano now.
Got a 1.
I can't just get a normal game of Constructed anymore.
What's normal?
Everyone's got to have a 20-minute on your turn.
1 floating.
It's just 5 damage.
Yeah.
I'm just over playing Welcome to Wraith Fundies.
I'm just going to cover it up.
Driving a Ferrari over here. This goes here. Over to
Actually,
you, Kent.
I'm not going to cover that one.
That's right.
Back this up. I'm going to block here. 1 floating. I'm going to take 1.
Great. Seems better. That seems better. Yeah, that's right. We earned some damage.
All right. My turn.
The kids say, yep.
26 search tokens pop. We're going to play Channel Lake Frigid. And then we'll Crippling Crush for 11.
That's the everything costs money.
Everything costs you 1 more. We'll see if it matters.
Who's gonna fill their shoes? Okay, so let's think about the best thing to do. Man, you kind of sees it. Wow. You know what's crazy about this card? Actually, you're kind of like better at Arsenal stuff than Ranger now, even.
It's insane, especially with a shield. Because you turn a blue into 2 block and card filter, and you get a card from here to block with.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody beats Oldhim. I don't. I genuinely don't. Genuine?
Genuine. You don't know who Genuine is? She broke one of Tommy's own no-nos. One of my favorite sequences.
What is this? Everything costs me 1 extra until what happens?
Until it goes away. At the end of the turn, I put an ice card from my pitch to the bottom of my deck.
That one?
If I do, it stays. Yep. Then it gets a token. And the next turn, I have to put 2 from here over. Otherwise, it stays. But yeah.
This is your last Crippling Crush.
Yeah.
And you'll have no Arsenal.
None.
Okay. Fine. It's acceptable. So to use Cross Trap would cost me 1. That's what you're saying.
Anything with a semicolon.
You mean a full colon?
Whatever the 2 dots is.
Yeah, that's the full one.
Okay, a full colon.
Semi, you take 1 dot and turn it into a
Anything
colon.
with a colon.
Are you kidding me? I've got to chuck another on the legend of this. I mean, you either.
I think defense reactions also count, by the way. It would cost you 1 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Using your bow would cost you an extra 1.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Using the tunic resource also costs you 1.
Yeah, so it becomes unplayable.
Yeah.
All right, I'll block all of it.
All right, covered her up.
11.
With that Lake Frigid out, you may as well, you know? All right, over to you. You got anything?
Sure don't.
All right, yeah, that seems pretty good. Let's go Spinal Crush. 1 floating.
I can't get go again. That's what you're saying.
Right, and Lake Frigid is going to stay around.
So it's still here.
It's still here now, and it's going to be because I have 2 ice cards over
Yeah,
here.
sure. So playing anything costs me money. Is that where we're at still?
Yeah. Still up by 14, though.
Yeah.
Evan, the old pivot turn.
That Channel Lake is a bit of an issue. Huh? I think I'm just going to block until I
got Frosty in here. Yeah, I don't have Dominate. You just cover it up. I'm just hoping to run you out of arrows.
So using a Zealous, but it costs me money as well.
Yeah.
So anything that I would like to do costs me money.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and this should have one of these on it.
All right. I'll block 4/7.
Okay, I'll pass.
And take 2.
All right. We're bleeding now. Arsenal pass. And this stays. Unlikely to stay another time, but miracles do indeed happen.
I don't necessarily like this. I'm going to pitch this Memorial Ground. You'll no block in the hand that I can't do anything with to use a cross wrap. Show you this knock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to hold on to that. And wait, when does that go away? At the end of your next turn?
Mm-hmm.
So a defense reaction here is not great.
It would cost you 1 to use it next round, yeah?
So pay 2 cards, block 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I'll pass.
Okay.
Who's gonna?
Let's pay 1 to use Crown Seeds. Draw a card. Let's.
It's devastating to see that. That's what Ranger's supposed to do. Like the card that I access has to go here, face up. The card that you access is drawn into your hand.
I have to pay for it.
That's disgusting.
We're gonna play Oakenold. We're gonna fuse it.
With what, a Blizzard and a So Tomorrow?
Yeah. So it's coming in for 9.
Is that So Tomorrow gonna go in your
Arsenal?
Mm-hmm.
Or Blizzard? They're both fine. So Tomorrow would be better. I haven't used this all game. It's been a weird
Is
game.
Blizzard only on
Attack actions?
attacks? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's fine.
Yeah, that would be crazy. So 9, Dominate, and if it does any damage, 2 cards randomly go on the bottom.
Sure. Okay. 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 9 dominate.
Super Fun Force. I haven't activated my ability.
Not once.
Not once.
You've been looking for it?
Yeah. I hit all non-ice cards up front, and ice cards are what I have the most of. So then all my non-ice cards were at the bottom of my deck.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them. But that's the Bravo.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Reality.
Okay, so
The turn I forgot about Seek and Destroy was also relevant.
yeah, true. So we block, we put 2 on the bottom, we have 1, we can reload and do all of that. All right, let's block 3. I'm gonna take 6.
Timothy, Earthworm Bounty is only from action cards. It's whenever I draw. You're taking 6.
Yep.
Keep the middle. That's Arsenal. I'm gonna pass through. What up, Billy? And this will go away.
I need a blanket. I'm too cold. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what knock. Yeah. 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 Bird. So the problem is you block it with a card and armor, right? The fibers.
Yep. Or
That's
a
so good.
Crown Rampart block with a 3, covering a 5.
Yeah. That would cost you an extra card though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, sort of. Then I have a card in hand from.
Do like a. It's not gonna matter. I mean, headshot maybe matters more than others because it's more annoying to block. Not annoying enough, as far as I'm concerned.
So you're putting the fatigue shot on top?
Yeah, sure. Oh, I wonder. And then we're gonna think for a second. I don't think this dominate is gonna matter at all. Not at all. And I don't have any Boltons left, which I really would have appreciated / enjoyed. But so what I'm looking at now is like if I don't reload, I can draw up and have an arsenal card essentially. And I'm shooting 5 either direction. I think 5, yeah, it's not worth it. All right, I think we do have to reload just because we need the cash. There's no fancy business here. And we'll reload here, and then we'll Azalea. And then we'll tunic you for 5. If it hits, you have your next attack.
All right, let's do this. It's my proxy. Grandeur of Valahai.
Oh my gosh.
Creates a surge. Pitches for 2. Crown. Draw. Okay.
I have the overwhelming feeling that you're doing more with your cards.
Pay 1 here. Trying to. And block here.
Random.
So cover 5. This overwhelming suspicion. All right, search pops. Start the turn. We're just gonna play mulch for 3, so it's coming in for 7. Next future.
7 straight up damage.
Straight up.
Straight up. Now tell me what you get. What I want me forever. Oh, oh, oh.
Brock, I haven't triggered Bravo at all this game. The other thing that's interesting about this match is your. I think this deck would naturally play more defensive here because your hit effects are relevant.
Yeah. I think if you started blocking now, I would lose. Like everything.
As I've been doing.
But like if you only did that, I don't know that I could punch through 9.
I see that deck getting real thin over there.
Yeah. Well, luckily, the balancing mechanic of Rangers, we just run out of attacks.
Is we run an 80 card deck.
I remember why I don't do this. No. I got spoiled in Warrior.
It's a good week. Next week we'll come back and you'll have Warrior on the table and it'll be great. It's just like a reminder of what, okay, we got the new Ranger cards, we got it out of the system, now let's get down to business.
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's better. It's better than it was. And this is hardly tweaked.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you just don't know how much more you could squeeze out of it.
Yeah. You feel like that you're so close all the time to doing something amazing?
Not really.
No,
actually, it's not even that. It's the fundies, man. It's the fundies.
Yeah, are you playing Dory Access or Bolton next week?
I don't know. Like Bolton didn't change much, man.
He just doing his thing.
Until you get more light cards, Bolton's kind of locked. Dory Access is fantastic.
He got that one that because he has Raiden's already immediately double, right? Whatever that is.
You have the one where you can break armor, I think, or something. Break a blocking card. Yeah. I don't even know if that's good.
Obsidian. It has been 84 years.
So these are the things that we want to play. But sending 8 at you versus sending 7 at you. Crown, shield, 2 cards is 8. Crown, shield, 1 card is 5. So 7 is pretty solid. 8 doesn't, up to 8 doesn't really matter too much, does it?
Right.
And you really, I realize why I put razors in here for Vegas. I see now why that was more of a thing. Okay, I'm gonna block with this here endless arrow. Not very endless.
Taking 4?
Yeah.
All right. Arsenal pass.
Tell me you wanna love me forever. Oh, oh, oh. Let's put a fatigue shot in with the old Death Dealer Central. Let's play Read the Glide Path for +3.
Oh, there it is. We're cooking now.
Oh, cool. There's more Moil Ground up there. Watch out.
I don't even know what's happening. My deck is doing nothing it was doing this weekend. I haven't used Earthbound Bounty at all.
It's doing nothing. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
This
is like the opposite of how it felt this weekend.
This isn't even good, and it's like... All right. Here's a fatigue shot for 8 coming at you there.
Okay, no go again?
No, I don't see any, no.
Just making sure. Verifying. All right, let's pay 1. Crown. You know what it is. Okay.
It's just that everything that you're doing is more effective by the numbers.
Pay 1 here.
It's like it's arithmetic. Yeah. Right? It's just simple math. At a certain point, this is a fancy spreadsheet with a lot of exciting theme applied. But at a certain point, your functions, like, look at all the moving parts. Look at all this stuff you're doing. I'm swinging for 8. I mean, this isn't even sealed. They're not even dominated.
I would love to help you out here somehow, but I just
You see a Memorial Ground on top? Well, Read the Glide Path. What are you doing? You looking up top, and then okay, not it. Moving on. It's like Brute, kind of.
5, 6, 7.
You feel like you have a little more control in Brute, at least somehow.
We'll go ahead and pop this in.
Just to burn some armor, or what?
Well, I don't want to get fatigued. Actually, what is it? Attack action?
Yeah.
Not doing this. I'm just swinging that hammer in.
The card's not good enough to warrant an armor block.
So I'll take 1.
All right. Someone's a little leaky today. Throw this in the arsenal.
Mine?
Yeah.
Swing a hammer with a nice card. Copy Cody says actually trying to bait players into playing Ranger.
What are you doing? You're doing a frostbite there?
Yeah, swinging for 4 of it hits, you get a frostbite.
It's going to hit. And I've got to see if I can power my turn regardless. So we play this. We play this. We pitch this. So we can block 3. Still have plenty of gas for the inevitable end game. Now, maybe I just take the 4, because like I can't wait. I can start wasting cards, man. I'm a little low.
Can you cover me? I'm a little light. It's also got to use this new shiny frostbite. Look at this thing.
How much armor is over there? 6?
2, 4, and then they each have 1 again, you know? So yeah, 6.
And you have no arsenal.
I mean, I have a card in hand.
Okay, you can have an arsenal there. Take 4. Take a frostbite.
Look at this. It's beautiful. It's shiny.
It's nice. I appreciate the care.
Yeah. I want you to have the beautiful cards that I own on your side of the table, too.
I think this has got to be... Look at the top card, get a bonus. It's got to be that. I ran that on the sideboard at Vegas. It's got to be that. This is not the go wide deck whatsoever. I'm playing the Alex Becker USPS Deliver the Non-Attack Pump special here.
Deliver the package.
Okay, well, let me show you some things here. I'm going to tick up this tunic.
I discovered my problem.
Are you like running the wrong cards?
No, I have found all of my lightning cards. Literally all of them.
Yep.
Not literally all of them, but a lot of them. Anyways.
So now wait a second now. You can technically block 9 just on the board with 1 card from hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from hand.
8. 1,
about the
2,
shield?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No. 1 card from hand blocks 3. Plus on the board.
Oh,
6.
Yeah, if I don't get to use the armor again, I can 2, 4, 7. If I use resources, 8, 9.
Right. So if I do a dominate 9, it won't matter.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I haven't used my armor yet. Devastating. Cold Pizza marking this monumentous moment, saying, "And there goes the Ranger health lead, down by 1."
It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over before it began.
I'm playing now as I should have been, I guess.
Let's use the cross trap. I'm gonna pitch this knock. Clear that frostbite.
Let's go.
There's a try shot. That's a worthless card. I'll leave that up there. Memorial Ground. There we go. Oh, well, let's make it happen then. What do you think? We're gonna put a headshot on top there. Let's play a Seek and Destroy. Let's use Azalea to flop this in here.
That's actually really good against Crown, period. Making it where I don't get a Arsenal card. Is it next round?
Yeah. It's like a CNC, but in reverse and less useful.
Yeah, like with Crowns, though, it's better, I think. Like, the turn I thought I had an Arsenal, that I did a totally wrong play because I was not going to get to keep my Arsenal. It's crazy.
Swing for a 9. Dominate. So you can destroy is active.
So I don't get an Arsenal next time.
And just to be clear, you get the big attacks and the best defense in the game? Just wanted to, is that...
Yeah, but I don't have Go again, you know?
Okay. See, so if I don't have Go again and no defense and not the biggest attacks, it would be hard to find where on the spectrum of being good the deck would be, right?
It may be a challenge. Yeah, I don't know.
As far as the fundies are concerned.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know, you see those charts sometimes where there's dots and then there's like angles and there's like certain vectors that are really strong.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, there's only so many ways a card can be built. There's only a few different stats. The text as well. With every slab dropped, my heart sinks.
You're at how many?
I'm at 9.
3, 4, 5.
It'll take everything you've got.
I don't even want to waste it.
It doesn't even matter.
I'm going to block for 5.
Great.
Take 4.
Yeah.
So you can destroy triggers.
That's right.
Lest I forget it again.
Yeah, I'll put it right here.
How embarrassing that would be.
How embarrassing. Put this in the arse.
I'm a Sexy Dinosaur says, I love and hate the relationship Steven has for Ranger. It's not even with Ranger, it's just for Ranger. Alright, mine.
Lexi's fine. Lexi's good, right? I think Lexi's good.
Gonna pitch. We're gonna use these Mage Master boots. Thank the Maker.
Oh, it's time for the power play, huh?
Tome of Fandel would go again. Draw 2. Gain 2 surges.
Now you would heal from that, or you draw cards?
I do heal.
How many?
4.
Nice. Well, that's the amount you just took.
That's crazy.
It's as if nothing happened, man.
Yeah, I know, it's wild.
Whoo! Yikes.
I can't have an Arsenal, so that's fun. We're going to play Winter's Grasp for 4.
No Go again.
No.
What am I missing? Do you have any weird cards that I need to know about?
All sorts of them.
Does the Pulse, is that an instant +4?
No, it's an action.
Does it even matter?
Pummel would be good.
Okay.
Floating Skull says, Steven slowly rolling out of frame, out of the room, down the street to the pub. Some say he's still rolling.
To this day, I will pass my defense step.
Okay.
And then I will go to reactions.
I'll pass.
I will react with a sink below.
Okay.
And I will maybe put one under here. Underwear.
What's eating over there?
Underwear. I'm going to sink that below.
Okay.
Draw one up.
I'm going to blink.
That's an instant?
It's an instant.
Oh, no.
We're going to swing the hammer with an ice card. 4 and frost token.
Don't worry, I saw this coming. I'm going to sink below.
Nailed it.
And what are we going to do? Well, nothing. We're not going to sink anything below. We got 2 good options.
All right.
Destroy everything in your arsenal in hand.
Did it. Yeah, my draw was not cards I wanted in my hand.
Got those taters.
Yeah.
You know, somebody in the Discord was saying, you guys play unbelievable. You play more accurately than Fabrica.
That's impossible.
They did. They said it's crazy. They're making mistakes all over the place, and you guys
are just perfect.
Like a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Cross wrap. There's a fatigue shot. What do you think about that? Could half your stuff. I don't want that. I don't want to see that card ever again. If I keep it at the bottom, will it never show up?
That's right. Well, they're going to eventually always show up because your deck's getting set then. Got him.
And what is the shield? It blocks a bunch of times, basically?
Blocks. If you close the chain, I get it back, and I can pay again and block for 2.
Oh, I don't close the chain.
Yeah. So, like, if you bolt and shot would go again, and then you pumped after that for a different arrow, then I would get the shield back, and I could block again.
I'm tempted to try to YOLO Azalea. You know why? Because right now, hitting a 5 and 5 against you does not matter at all.
You need Dominate to do damage.
I need Dominate to do anything.
Yeah,
and I'm going to need 6 Dominate arrows at the minimum to finish this game.
See them hills over there? You're going to run up those backwards. So you can't stand it anymore.
I'm going to use a blind Azalea there. What's this going to be?
Ryan Roper quoting saying, I don't want to ever see that card again as you put it on the bottom of your 6-card deck. There's probably like 12 cards there. 15.
We got the Whisper, though.
Whisper.
It's definitely the right time for that.
You can opt to make sure you don't get the other bad cards you don't want.
So true, though, really. It really is true. It's just a slow train to losing. Every time. It's unbelievable.
If your opponent makes a big...
Who did this? Who designed this, anyway? Where's Jason? Get Jason on the horn.
I'll say... yeah. I don't know.
They did Lexi, and then they were like, okay, like this is like, let's just make it good.
It's like, whatever give Ranger with the best hit effects, Dominate on a stick. That'll be really good.
Wouldn't that be crazy if their bows actually, or +1, you could have a choice. Bow's not really the problem. I think it's everything I'm drawing with the bow. Enlightened Strike for 7? Does that change this game at all? It doesn't. It doesn't. But I suppose that's what we're doing. Enlightened Strike for 7. What's up? Who's laughing now?
Block 4. Take 3.
Oh, that's right. Somebody needs to be on lower health for some reason.
These pop. Start of the turn. It's really just, you'll see. Swing the hammer for 4 with a frost token. If it hits.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem was I drew all... I'm drawing all my elemental cards now that I wasn't.
Great, great. Yes, yes. You too can fail.
Yeah.
We love it. Okay, so this becomes this, which becomes that. So, do we care? Can we block it? Do we care about the frost, and can we block it? Great, these are just phenomenal questions. I mean, if we don't have the frost, it's better. But if we block it, we lose an attack, and we still take the frost. You really need those 4s, right? I could send the cross trap at it this time around. It'd have to be the turn, though. It'd really have to be the turn.
The turn?
Yeah, there's
the turn of turns. Dude, this new mat is killer.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
That white background is great.
Yeah. We got Scotch guarded, though. You know what? I'm not even on these cards anymore. I'm pretty sure that things have changed. Like Ravenous Drow isn't even doing it anymore. You really do. With this deck, you're gonna have to be sending 12 plus Dominate
to do anything,
for it to have any impact whatsoever. Because you get 1, 2, you get 5 standard without using any armor. That's just bad. I'm afraid that's just bad. Okay, well, so be it. We'll play it anyway. Don't want to block with an arrow because I need to win with attacks. Got this one. This will happen. And then, wow. Wowzers. Okay, let's take 4.
Do me a favor?
Frost me.
Call me in the morning.
Frost me.
Arsenal Path. Okay. Be a good podcast name.
It's funny. It's funny. I agree with Simon. The fact that Dreadbore affects all arrows is nice. Have you ever thought I need to play an attack reaction or a defense reaction from hand?
This game?
Yeah.
No.
Never. Not once, right?
Yeah.
Not a single time?
Because I have a single defense reaction in the deck.
So I guess the question is, would +1... Maybe you have to go wide. Maybe you have to +1 bolt and shot until the game is over.
I like that... 10 minutes ago, I would have said, all right, he's done with Ranger for the season.
I'm done with Ranger. Yeah, I'm done with Ranger.
But I like that the longer we get into despair, the more you're willing to consider the other options.
I mean, it's a new bow. They can't be that bad, right?
Yeah,
they can't just make a worthless bow.
I mean, no card game ever has printed cards that are unplayable, right?
Never. All right, bolt and shot coming up. And then you got an arsenal there?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a defense reaction in it?
No. Why have defense reactions when you can have Crowns of Seeds?
Crowns of Seeds and armor.
And Rampart. And
old-fashioned.
This one armor that just keeps working.
It's old-fashioned.
Shield doing work.
What do I even want here? I'm beginning to think that some of these arrows don't matter to you. Okay. Let's see. We pump it.
When Agenda says, remember Hexagore, Steven.
Oh, yeah, right. It is the Hexagore. Anything that ends in ORE, you probably should just...
avoid.
Just avoid it. Like, Headshot's the only way I have a chance of doing damage here. 6 Dominate. You block with... It still doesn't even come close. I hate it. We're going to run the ledger for old time's sake. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fun.
Now I got to at least make you... Yeah. There you go. You can't have more than one action. What do you think about that?
Love it. Ship it.
You know what though? Here, I paid for that.
Hey.
It does look nice.
Right? It's nice and frosty.
But what about if I attack with 4 first?
Oh, let's go. Alright. Well. Let's pay 1. Use the casting. Yeah, it's everything.
Oh my god. It makes it a fury, a small fury building inside of my body. A tiny whirlwind of pain.
Block for 3, 4.
The pulse even blocks?
Still have crown block. Yeah, it blocks for 3 too.
I'm gonna have to break the chain too to use Azalea.
That's free. I got a resource floating. 2 free block. Let's go.
So awesome. It's so good. Okay, so you blocked that one. That's good. You did that
Andrew
one.
says, it really is like shooting arrows at a concrete wall. Yeah, I blocked that one. Covered it right up. I got that 2 here ready to go, and I got a free floating damage cancel.
That becomes a 2 next time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even worth taking the action.
You get a card out of my hand. Maybe.
This doesn't even work anymore. I mean, Guardian has gotten crazy
That's what I was saying.
since I last played.
You just literally put these 2 cards in. You switch to this. And the old... Imagine just the old Bravo deck just being normal. It's crazy.
How, and what are you losing to? Prism?
Yeah. Because you do one thing. You block it. And then you can swing once. But the auras get out of control.
Because you don't have enough go again.
Yeah.
So Prism's a check on big. Well, it's a check on this also.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we have the solution to beating Azalea. So,
Crowd loves your torture, by the way.
I'm glad. I mean,
torture.
sometimes it's fun. Everybody watch Squid Game, right? Okay, so if I Death Dealer, Red in the Ledger, Dominate for 5, you block with 2 and a card from hand from the Rampart. So that's probably 1 card, or you take 2 damage and take 1 action. Could be a Winter's Wail, it doesn't really matter. But what else are you going to do?
Love this. Ian saying I ordered Majestic Dice boards this week using the UK fulfillment.
Killer.
They're going to join the Nisei Star set at my parents before they package it all up to ship to Australia. That's
Very nice.
Hold on.
That's a lot. That's like you're going around the infield with that one.
Yeah, going to parents and then going to Australia. Man, that's awesome.
All right, hey, let's break it. Chain broken, bro.
Broken.
Don't worry, I stacked the deck like crazy down here.
Pitch stacked those last 8 cards. You're ready to rumble.
What about a Dominator in the Ledge though? That's the meta of old. It would have crushed Chain.
Need more armor tokens. All right, block for 2. I have the 1 floating.
That floats forever. Oh, that
for the turn.
You block the next one of everything I do.
The next damage I would take. Because I didn't use it. I blocked with a 3 in the shield, so it floats.
Right.
So 2, 3, 4, 5.
Great, you got there. You know the biggest mistake that designers can make is making defense too good. You remember that in Mompoc?
If defense is too good, it's really not fun.
On that podcast we're gonna do
the 10 Commandments of game design.
Healing will be on my list. I've never seen a game in which healing doesn't ultimately break things.
If you have the triangle of aggro combo control with mid range in the middle, the worst place I think it can lean is control.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
All right, Snow Under for 7, no fusion.
Okay. Snow Under for 7, no fusion. Do I have any arrows left? Surely, right? Don't call me Shirley.
If you don't, you lose anyway. So
yeah, may as well, right?
You should assume that has to be the case.
That's right. And there's no funny business on your you can't suddenly snow me, right?
No. Josh Trevino, my TC case just got to my house. Did y'all send me that Guardian Gem?
We may have.
Open them up and find out, man.
We may actually have, because apparently our polls of the Fable were very low for singles.
It's because we always send them to our players.
That's right. I'm gonna block 5, take 2.
Okay.
It's the only shot I've got. Play to your outs, kid. Crunch out. Check out that Remorseless, though. I hate this card. It's trash shot every time. It does nothing.
We learned something
It's
today.
a blue 3-block. It did that. It did what we wanted it to do. Check this out, though. Read the glide path. Another crack at it. Also not an arrow. I've got to go blind. I've got to. This is the whole point. I've got to go blind.
Obsidian says OMG and quotes you. I hate this card.
I've got to go blind because shooting this, even at 11, doesn't matter. But 11 dominate could win the game if you don't do math well. So let's do a blind Azalea.
Steve Woolley, school for kids who don't do math well. Red in the ledger. It's the stonks.
It's it's a big finish for my girl Azalea.
Uh-huh.
Seek and destroy +3.
Mm-hmm.
Tunic. Here comes 11. Dominate.
Is he gonna do it? How is it possible? He won the game. Azalea's the best. She's the crown. Floating. All right. I've got one floating. You're doing 11.
That's right. Gonna block with one card from hand.
So I need to cover up more. Let's pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
Covered up.
Take
all
4.
but one, yeah?
Doop.
Seek and destroy fires. Red in the ledger fires. Read the glide path fires. Okay.
He's in it to win it.
Let's just see how this one goes. It's going to be a hand of 3 multi-shots here pretty soon.
I believe in you, man.
3 tri-shots. I know there's 1 remorseless down there
You basically
somewhere.
already won.
I've already won.
Okay.
You're out of armor.
1 action. I'm out.
You're all out of armor, huh? Interesting.
Command and Conquer.
Just the old 6. The old-fashioned 6.
Christopher Anderson says, relying on the opponent to be bad at math is the real big brain.
Okay. 6. So I cannot take 6.
You can't take any.
Neither can you, buddy.
That's right.
But you can always block 5.
I can't because I can't put an arsenal card this turn.
It's the big moment.
It's the big brain play.
This is the big moment. But if I lose 2 cards from hand, I can't pay and knock. Isn't that interesting? And let's just make sure we don't have any...
Kashi's saying, I love these close games.
Okay, so... we know we've got Remorseless.
Simon, this is actually very exciting.
Can come in
It's
at
been a
5.
good game.
So that's going to be the same math for you. This reloads. Got to shoot it for 1. Tunic's still down. Got to block with 3 cards. So there's no way for a 2-card knock the death whistle hand with no arsenal to play an arrow.
Yeah, because you can't knock.
Because you got to get an arsenal. You
have
got to knock, reload, pitch.
Yeah.
Need those searing shots, even though you'd block it. That's a 4 cost. All right, let's get a try shot, and I don't even know. Like, do you save? You kind of got to keep him around. Do you save the knock? You don't want to get rid of it, but I think we're going to be in a kind of game where I can never have a 3-card hand. Not once, not never.
I mean,
unless 3 turns from now we get the Tunic.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Or you save your armor for, like if I send just the shield, and you have a 3, block with 3 in an armor, and you cover it up.
Okay. All right. 6 it is.
everything gets destroyed. I can't arsenal because it's going to destroy.
There's no amount of equipment block that changes that. Your ranger, you can only block with 2, so you have to ditch 2 cards even if you do that. Because remember, you're ranger, and that's how you're balanced. You have no armor, and your attacks are normal. And it's harder to fire, and you can only shoot 1 of them. And you can't save an arsenal for future turns.
It's a hard knocks life for us.
And so if I shoot 5 at you, you lose 2 cards from your hand.
Yeah.
If I shoot 6 at you, you lose 2 cards from your hand.
Presumably.
Really no reason to do that then, is there?
Yeah.
But I really want an arsenal card. So let's take that tunic up. We need a 0 cost something to do, which we do not have. But we will use Death Dealer. That's going to get us an arsenal card. Remorse is going to draw. Thank God it's Try Shot. I put him down there. I don't know why I'm surprised. How about our Remorseless?
I love it.
The crazy thing is, I don't have a weapon to swing.
I mean, if I didn't know better, you could bamboozle me with like a razor reflex.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, but I do know better.
Yeah, you told me not to run him.
I did nothing of the such.
I think it was chat. I'm back on like exactly where I was at Vegas. This is exactly why this to me doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alex said it worked now. He's wrong. It doesn't work.
I love it.
You gotta have reaction. You gotta have. I'm probably back on 6 races if I was doing this again. Especially in a Guardian.
Block 6.
Ooh, your Dominate attack.
Macho Grande.
Ooh. All right, trash out in the dig there.
Yeah, I think you're running out of cards before I get a Dominate attack off. Just the beats.
I've got 2 hands left, bro. That means I'll get that tunic. The final moment, the final volley, that tunic's coming in for you.
I believe.
Yep. What do you got?
Wouldn't you know it? An old friend from work. Command and Conquer.
Luckily, I've got this Whisper the Oracle that I'm...
Wash her through, man. Those are all 2 blocks. You'd be in a bad way, man. You'd be in a real bad way.
I've got play here, man. You better watch yourself, dude. I got play
Dude,
here.
you could so beat me. I've lost this moment so many times.
It just depends on, I've been tracking it. I'm pretty sure this is an arrow. If I'm wrong about this one being an arrow, the next one definitely is.
What could go wrong?
All right, I'm going to block 6.
You got it.
I'm pretty certain. I'm raring to go. Tunic up. Crunch Trap. I'm going to show you this try shot. It's amazing how many there are. It's crazy how many we've seen, right?
There's like 3 in there, right?
It's a try shot. I'm going to scoop that one to the bottom.
All right. No, that's on the bottom. Just remember that.
Now I'm almost certain that is a Remorseless.
This is what do you got? Let's see how many you got left. 4 cards in deck. 2 cards in hand, 1 arsenal.
This has got to be the moment.
It's now or never, right?
Azalea. Kind of blind. Through a glass darkly, or whatever the poet says.
Overflex.
Everflex.
It has an arrow on it.
It can at least be played.
Yeah. No Dominates can be good for me.
It could be a problem. But we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way, dude. Find a way. Vixen to find out. Okay.
Gonna learn today.
I want to pitch this to play this. You gotta do that, right? Yeah.
James is really excited about your 2 tri-shot end in hand.
This is the remorse. This is the problem. I was 1 off. So that means I don't want to draw it, but I'm going to have to draw it.
You have no choice.
I have no choice. I don't want to draw your card. All right, hold on. There's some frisky business here.
Larry Carter saying, cue this magic moment.
I'm going to Death Dealer this and draw that Remorseless.
You were this close.
Mm-hmm. I had Overflex Remorseless for the 8 Dominate. I was 1 away. Story of Azalea. How about a Bolt and Shot with Go Again?
Coming in for 5?
How about that? Coming in for 5. That's right. You gonna deal with that? +1 ain't gonna matter.
All right.
2 cards is 2 cards.
No block.
You got that pulse thing? You're so stupid.
2 for 6.
Why was I running Dreadbore?
All right.
I'm gonna put this Remorseless down
You
here.
got it. Could have been a contender on that Dreadbore, you know. All right. Swing the Ice Hammer for 4. Fatigue.
Oh, we're so close.
Oh man.
Hold on.
Huh?
There's some funny business here.
I believe, dude.
How much you got 1 out there?
I thought you were gonna win this game for about an hour.
No, you did. You gotta know though that isn't how that goes.
When it was 30-10, I was still not unconfident.
I'm happy for you. I'm really quite happy for you.
Whoop ton. Enjoy it. Starting over. Says I love you guys still streaming, but I gotta go back to the beginning.
Opt 1. Can you opt with no cards in your deck?
No clue. Seems challenging to look at something that's not there.
I wish I was
online.
I wish I was running Shiver. Is that the bow?
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna block this with these cards. Obviously, that's the only way it could end.
Oh, people think it's your turn. It's not your turn yet.
No, it's not my turn.
Block. All Arsenal past you.
Yeah.
We have the crown back on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's a problem. Is there any way to get this to my deck?
I don't think so. No. That's the only way to get dominate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Unless I'm Lexi, unless I'm Lexi.
People were saying you could armor block instead of the second card last time.
Yeah, so like this.
If that matters.
Which it's amazing how much it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there's a way to get this over here, no option there.
Yeah,
no
you're
option.
in problem town here.
Yeah. So. Okay. Search your deck for an arrow card. Reveal it. Put it on top. I don't have a deck, so I can't search it.
Sabe's saying if Azalea has a Remorseless in Arsenal with no cards in deck and you use her ability, it would come back into Arsenal with Dominate.
Let's read Azalea. Put a card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck. Yeah. Who's laughing now, bun? Ready to lose? All right, I'll do that. If you do, put the top card of your deck face up into your arsenal.
It's a nice little trick.
If it's an arrow card, it gains dominate.
The answer was there all along.
Pitch, overflex, 8 dominate, coming at you.
Well,
I could hold the tri-shot and activate the bow a second time.
let's use the crown.
I don't think you can use bracers, you need to dominate. Can't get it in hand either. Yeah, die.
Take 3. I'm dead.
That's right. That's right. That's
You
how
did
we,
it.
That's how we do.
See, Rangers are the best. Man, that was a wonky game.
Man. Yeah, what do you think?
That was the weirdest this deck has played for me so far. It was basically like I had a bunch of red guardian attacks up front. I didn't stack my deck, like I didn't divide it by.
You had a number of crippling crushes.
Yeah, I saw all 3 like in like the first 8 cards.
You also searched for 2 of them, I think.
Because I pitched them.
Yeah.
But I saw my guard. I mean, this is gonna be the problem with Bravo. The start of the show, in general. If there's gonna be one, if you're trying to do it all. But like, I drew all my guardian attacks, and then I drew all my non-ice cards. So I didn't even have the ice hammer swing.
Yep.
My Lake Frigids couldn't get played.
My gosh, that Lake Frigid was disgusting.
And then I saw all of my ice cards. Like I kept Lake Frigid in play 2 turns, which I never did this weekend.
Yeah.
I was never using this Earthlore Bounty, which is also really bizarre.
You didn't use it like once.
I used it on the
tome,
but then I didn't have a guardian attack that next round. It was really strange. But I think this is also partially what's important about playing a lot of games with one deck. Because if this had been the first time I played this deck, I would have been like, I gotta change everything.
You gotta play it a bunch.
But I played it all weekend, and it was like, felt great.
There can just be weird moments with decks. I mean, it's a random card generator, right?
Yeah, and there was a moment where I saved a Sotomar to put in Arsenal that I didn't realize was going to get Seek and Destroyed.
Yeah, that was helpful.
And then instead of doing whatever I did, I could have used that resource, but I preferred having an Arsenal card.
But the whole color pie of Azalea is your opponent forgetting about your effects.
Yeah, it works.
That's how she's costed.
Yeah.
As long as your opponent doesn't remember what arrows they get hit with and what effects they get hit with.
Nathaniel saying Azalea, a living legend by end of the year.
Yeah, right. Totally. What other hero can win with no cards in their deck like that?
The end of your deck.
I mean, it was crazy. That was impressive. Got the overflex down there, just stacked it perfectly.
You had so many cards that were doing nothing though.
Yeah.
No offense.
Actually, less than usual.
Yeah.
In Azalea.
it was actually worse than it normally is. Because I had like just the most. It is so weird. I want to play it again, but we still have time.
I think if you're going tall, right, these become bracers of belief. I don't know about Purge Grapplers, Snapdragon, just like you're so pulled in your card pool wanting you to launch more than one arrow, even in the equipment side. What you do, Snapdragons or Purge Grapplers? Mm-hmm. Both of them are about give and go against stone.
Wild Wormhole, I'll never forget where I was on Tuesday, February
8th. That's awesome. Cold pizza. Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I don't even know.
Do you get excited when you think about playing Warrior next week?
I get excited about winning.
Yeah. Well, you won that game.
But did I? Did it feel like that though?
I don't feel like that. Like I feel like I started with a 20 health deficit and almost won anyway.
I think if you like. The problem is you just look at how the game's playing out, and it's like, if they just want to fatigue this game, they can have it anytime they want it.
Yeah.
You would have to get, okay, let's actually think about this. How much, let's assume you have a 5 block on the table at all times. 1 from hand and 1 from hand and 2 on the board from your shield and your crown.
For dominate purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's assume you're going to block 5 off of a dominate, disregarding arsenal reactions that you might side in for Azalea, etc. So an average like pump dominate arrow with 8. So that's 3 per. And if you go big, you might get 6. So how many instances of 3 damage coming through goes into 40 assuming a no heal.
14.
That's about 14 arrows dominated with one pump that would need to be launched.
Yeah, which is
to ever win that game.
About half your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Pump plus thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have to be blocking.
You got to block some.
Yeah.
And you got a pitch card, of course, as well.
That's the challenge of that math.
Yeah.
And twice a game I get to throw armor in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I probably need at least 15 dominated top of deck arrows for that to work. I just, when I looked at that in Vegas.
Healing.
When I looked at that in Vegas, and at that point, Guardians were running sigils and blessings.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so every single sigil is another dominated arrow I have to launch.
Mm-hmm. Now you can do less dominant arrows if you pump those things harder.
Bigger, yeah.
So if you have 2 pumps on a single arrow, you're getting 2 through on 1 arrow.
That's twice the efficiency. That's right.
Yeah.
And then you're blocking you got more 2s, right? So then it's like, you're crippling crush hits.
You have more 2s, and also you have more moments you can't block.
Yeah. Which we saw that this construction methodology prevented the thing we were trying to prevent, at least in this first game. There were no hands in which I could not launch a decent attack.
You shot arrows almost every turn, right?
You shot arrows, man.
Besides when I was like making you block out or whatever.
Yeah. The Channel Lake Fridges is devastating because like this is needed,
yeah,
this is needed, this is needed, this is needed, and it's just like impossible. Yeah, maybe Dreadbore. Well, hey, thanks so much. Thanks so much, everybody. And I don't. If you don't do dominate, what do you do with Azalea?
You gotta go wide, right?
Yeah, but then it just.
But the thing is, if you're going wide, you need to be playing Lexi.
Yeah. Because Red the Ledger and Knock are not facilitating going wide, and her ability is not facilitating going wide.
Yeah, none of it is.
Yeah.
But Lexi is.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. And also has Shiver to go tall, so.
And also has all the elemental arrow stuff.
Universally good hit effects. Not quite as tailored to.
So we're next week plan on doing.
If you like this, let me tell you, come on back next week.
Next week, I think we're featuring Warrior and Runeblade.
Yeah,
is the plan.
We should talk about Doriaxes. Obviously, that's a deck that is now actually in the conversation. We can talk about Dory Dawnblade and just look at the. I'm keen to look at what it should be doing because I think you're right. I think it didn't get anything that breaks it out of the linear reality.
Yeah, and I think you look at even the Crown of Seeds shield moment, right? Yeah. And like, you can see how defensive this is, and then realizing that Dory doesn't have dominate either.
Yeah.
So it's like pitch a card, Crown plus block with the thing, the shield, block with 2 cards from hand. I still have 2 or 3 cards.
And surely she can't beat Oldhim, right?
I think it's almost impossible.
Like Earth React plus put your reaction back on top of your deck. That's got to be insane. You would have to, into Oldhim, you would have to do all front pumps into swing, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's no way to force the issue on that.
Yeah.
That's a real bummer. But she's in a tricky design space because, like, if you push that even 5% harder, it becomes terrible, like, for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, she's just getting Dawnblade counters, and I can't possibly win the game. She has inevitability like Chain did.
Yeah.
Or I guess does, or did. I don't know, man. Good conversation.
So we're back. Next week we'll probably be we're looking at Warrior and Runeblade in general, but we're gonna just keep jamming.
Yeah, keep
long way to go.
Pass around the infield. We're done with the hard one.
So yeah, we'll see.
Now we get to have different kinds of fun where I will express joy like Marie Kondo. This one does not bring joy. Actually, that was extremely fun, and I'll probably be thinking about it often.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah, thanks you too, buddy.
Not necessarily tournament winning decks at the moment, but we had a good time. You know what I mean? Definitely had a good time.
All right, take care, everybody. Hey, we'll see you next time. I know we keep doing this fake outro, but first edition boxes. Okay, let's have this conversation for a second, Zach.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, it's
little
like
post-show podcast. Here we go.
It's totally fake. We lost like half of the viewers already. So listen to this. We don't. You've seen the James interviews, right? And he's talking about, the unlimited model isn't working. We're going to change it up and do something. Nobody knows what that's going to be. We have no idea what that is, obviously. No public or private information has come down the pipe on that. But here's what we can tell you. Right now, there is a proportionally very small amount of slots in the first edition Flesh and Blood subscription that we have. And it's very possible that whatever announcement happens from James, in whatever time that happens, could mean everyone's like, oh my gosh, I've got to get first edition boxes because either they're way more rare or there's not going to be a second printing, or etc.
Because he straight up said that he didn't think the first edition unlimited model was working.
He said he didn't think it was working.
And the goal is that product is available on release at or above MSRP.
Right. So if there's right now a way to lock in first edition Flesh and Blood boxes at MSRP, it's just worth considering before the news drops, and then all of a sudden everybody maybe is like, we've got it, and then you don't get the spot, and then you're waiting indefinitely for that.
Because it's free to sign up and free to cancel.
It's free to sign up and free to cancel. It's like, it's stupid what we're doing here. So you're not even obligated. I mean, you can get on a guaranteed list and then drop off 3 to 4 weeks before it matters, and no harm, no foul. So
after like an important announcement or something, if you were really feeling first.
So just like consider that. We're trying to help out here, and it'll be at MSRP or lower forever.
If you're watching this and you don't sign up, and then later you wished you had, I will feel no remorse for you.
No, remorseless.
That's
just
right.
like how the game ended. Take care, everybody. Buy some singles also.